I know the music's not very loud. It's loud enough for me, though. Tea. And by warm up my voice, I meant scratch my ear because I have an itch I cannot get rid of on the inside of my ear, and it's annoying the piss out of me. Yeah. Music, you can go. Game can go. Holy shit! Let's turn that down some. Boo! Hey, Legend! Do you expect special notifications? Well, there are notifications in any of the groups that have my Twitch channel. Just saying. Okay, is this game too loud now? I don't know, I turned it all the way down. I can't... Now it's not making any noise. Holy shit, that game is still loud. Okay, whatever. Whatever. So it's called Lucid9. Yeah, I know I'm special. So Stacy keeps coming back. Might just be because I don't know. I don't know why she keeps coming back. Maybe because I drew a pig. Let's see. I have no idea what this game is about. Just putting that out there. Love you too, Stacy. See, I stepped back and examined my masterpiece. I can hear walking sounds, so I'm gonna have to turn it up. Damn it. Perfect. My favorite color. Heartbeat. Floppy dongs. Genital jousting. I don't have that one. That one would be hilarious. No, seriously, Stacy, there's a game called Genital Jousting, and it's a multiplayer game, and you play as a penis. Oh, Conan Exiles has got floppy penises, too. I don't know why it went heartbeat, and now it's nothing. Yeah, I suppose they have the nudity option. You can turn it on or off, which is funny. So I saw you finally broke down and got Xbox. I can't say anything. I paid $300 for a 360 and a PS3. I got those when I moved. I thought you got the Xbox and gave up your PlayStation. I watched your tweet. Could have sworn you said goodbye, PlayStation. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Ooh, save, reference. That's kind of a creepy sound. Okay. I've always loved red. It's different, brilliant, vibrant, unusual. A happy anomaly. Just like me. Red isn't much for nature. It really only shows up in autumn, and even then it's a dreary rust or nauseated cherry. And we just can't have that. Not when it deserves so much more. Maybe it's a spoopy night too, all at the same time. A whispering breeze filters through my thoughts, brushing against my skin with icy fingers. I allow myself a moment to pause, to relish, to admire, to welcome the fresh scent of freedom. This is what I live for. When I open my eyes, I spot a frail leaf dancing upon the backbone of the passing wind, afflicting the world with its appalling shade of asparagus. That does not sound... Yeah, that sounds appalling. I pluck it from its branch with the edges of my stained fingernails. Nope, they're not stained. They're pretty white. Disgusting. How anyone could enjoy this color eludes me. No comment. Even though it's adult stream, but no comment. Because I know Stacy's on the other side of town just laughing her ass off right now. I just know. A soft groan redirects my attention to my waiting masterpiece. It's lovely, really. Spread across the ground, face contorted with fear, twitching, cold fingers clutching at empty air. I got a fan. You can't see it, but I have a fan. It's how I keep my computer cold. Oh, and yes, I did make a clip of that the other night, Losrin. I'm sure you've seen the clip I made. I have handed it off to a couple of people so they could see it. And laugh. Excuse me, 14. Stacy, can you paste the clip, or should I do it? I'll have to load up Facebook. Stacy's my best friend, by the way, Lizard, if you haven't noticed. Oh, that's alright, Stacy, I'm looking for the clip. Where is that? Okay, and I thought I was the weirdo in the relationship. Okay, that clears that up. Where the fuck is it? Stacy, we talk too much on Facebook. Just saying. Copy link. Clippy! Oh no. Disregard that. Let me copy it correctly because Facebook's dumb. There. Done. Shared the clip with the streamer. I had to clip it after because I was laughing too hard. I didn't clip it in time. Not my best work, unfortunately. The canvas died much quicker than I had originally expected, even when I tried to curve a bit slower. Well, no matter. Today it shall be a palette for my paint. I made quick work of my new palette's chest, ignoring the twitching of post-mortem reflexes from its mutilated kneecaps. I know, Stacy. Even when I'm working, we talk a lot. Let's try. That enough? Hope that's enough. I can post it in my Discord too if you like. Actually, I'll post... I'm an idiot. There you go. Discorded it to you. I'm trying to read this creepy murder story, damn it. Damn it. The sweet color of red, true crimson, pure scarlet, slinks down its pallid abdomen, licking at the blossoming turf below. I dip my finger into the settling pool of blood. It's warm, sticky, like syrup or settling gelatin. The sweet scent wafts to my nostrils. No, I watched some of your earlier ones before I actually, gave bits. And I'm like, jeez. Yep. So now I'm going to have to show up and just throw bits at you and see what happens. Just saying. Ah, smells of iron, of rust, of all things sharp and beautiful. Yeah, I saw that one. I went back through your clips and I saw that one. Yeah. I like going back through fellow streamers' clips because the fans know the best bits to clip. And here I am in long sleeve sweater in the temperature is in here. It's above 20 in my apartment. It was raining all day. I am very warm. Oh well. Next page. Now, a new canvas. Check my surroundings, evaluating the surfaces and textures and sizes and shapes of every object in sight. None are quite so satisfactory as human skin with its elasticity, its porous absorption, its innately warm tint. But a substitute is required, so a substitute I must find. Presently, I realize I'm still holding that eyesore of a leaf in my hand. Well, I suppose it'll have to do. In one bold, fluid stroke, I swipe my paint across the leaf, the very essence of Van Gogh himself. Ah yes, dear Vincent, the man cut off his own ear to send a message when words just didn't suffice. I always admired his style. I take a moment to appreciate the leaf's newfound radiance before searching for a proper display. Something like this deserves to be exhibited. I hang my canvas back on its branch. That's better. If only there was more of this color in the world. The unexpected interlude of my phone drives me out of my thoughts. The irritating thing just loves to ruin the climax. Yes? Is it done? You're always in such a rush. Well, yes, it's done. I was having a moment. There's more where that came from. You interrupted me. You're the one who wanted to know when it was finished. Thrill leaps through my veins as my lips pull into a tenuous smile. Well, is it? Same time, same place as usual. You know the drill. I nearly clap my hands, but master myself for one final word. Understood. I cut the transmission and eagerly withdraw a small bottle from within my jacket. Only one pill left, but no matter. I'll be getting more soon enough. I pop the final capsule into my mouth, puncturing its skin with my teeth and rolling the bitter gel over my tongue. Now this is life. As a wave of euphoria sweeps through me, I turn from my handiwork, strolling out of the meadow. Today's fun is over, but tomorrow will hold just as many pleasures. Murderer? Apparently. Ma? Yama Ishimoto? Are we going to end up having a stream of throwing bits at Lesrin, Stacy? I'll share my screen. We'll go over and watch him throw bits at him. I get 750 bits I can throw at him. Huh? Scott Johansson on X-Hamster? X-Hamster's a porn site, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm guessing you're saying don't look you up. Typey, 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 type. Jeez, now you got me searching and doing things I shouldn't be doing on Twitch. xhamster.com. Paste. All I see is girls' faces. That didn't work. Just saying. Was it you or Lazrette that was doing the cam work? Just saying. Asking for a friend. Why did I open my bookmark bar? I did not want to. Okay. All the more to you. Just saying. I don't judge. See, without actually going to xhamster, it brings up Facebook profiles. I'm like, okay. Back to the story. I sluggishly pull my head upward, fixing my eyes on the woman at the front of the classroom. Are you even listening? I hide an instinctive smirk. Technically, no. Always found napping more appealing than relearning history that's been drilled into me since age 6. Not that I can actually say that. In all honesty, this teacher doesn't deserve that kind of callous response. Yes, ma'am. Perfect. Summarize the whole section we've been reviewing. Hell no. Sorry, I hear glasses just vibrating against each other because my desk vibrates. Glance at the touchscreen board mounted behind the teacher, quickly skimming over the graphics and typography hovering on its surface. History of Isamu, our glorious metropolis, beginning 2000 AD. Easy. Life was really boring for a while. We weren't in debt, weren't at war, and were basically doing nothing interesting. Teacher slips purse into a thin line as the classroom erupts into snickers. I feel the slightest tinge of regret and rein in my sarcasm. Then, in 2007, America entered a debt crisis that caused a worldwide financial crash. Japan was one of the countries most affected by this, well, second to China. And why might that be? Because we were dumb about who we partnered with? She taps her fingers impatiently on her desk, her eyes narrowing to slits. Well, she asked me to summarize the chapter. She didn't ask me how. That's me. 100% me. Fucking glass. Grr. Anyway, our glorious government didn't handle the situation so hot, so we had a lovely depression with all-time highs of unemployment and crime. Good effort, gold star. Teacher waves her hands as the class roars with laughter. Right, that's enough. I'll be needing to talk with you after class about your attitude, young man. Woman. Meh, in other news, grass is green. Elizabeth, perhaps you can salvage this explanation. Yes, it is Narnia. If Narnia is a college or high school classroom in Japan. It's reading with silver time. And I have probably only gotten about 5 minutes into this game and been live for half an hour. Thanks, Lesrin. Stacy can't even? What? Sorry, I didn't mean to slurp my tea. I don't like Elizabeth. She's not very cute. She gestures a few seats to my right where my lavender-haired classmate sits, her spine as straight as a ruler. You don't get naked on stream! At least there's no clips of it. Though there is Rule 34, so... Just point that out here. I don't like her. You know she's the main character because she's got purple hair, but I don't like her. I feel a curdle of distaste in the pit of my stomach as I lounge against my chair. Of course, Elizabeth Oshiro, class valedictorian, school poster child, and the area's golden girl. Nap time! Settle my head in my arms as Elizabeth leaps to her feet, smiling warmly. Certainly, during this time, Japan fell into chaos. Public demonstrations, often violent, occurred almost every day. Furthermore, political scandals regarding the national government kept spreading. The teacher relaxes at Elizabeth's textbook recitation. She even shoots a quick glare in my direction as if to say, "See? Why can't you be like Elizabeth?" Fuck you, teacher! I wasn't the good kid in school. I was the troublemaker. I have a feeling Lesrin was a troublemaker too. Just saying. Eventually, local political powers became more effective than centralized administration, hence why Isamu operates as smoothly as it does. Yes, thanks to the mayor's efforts. Perfectly done, Elizabeth. Elizabeth smiles primly and settles back into her seat, fixing her eyes on me with challenging disapproval. I only shrug my shoulders, sending her an easy smirk. Suspended spell, dropped out freshman. Wow, I wasn't that bad. At least I made it through college. Oh, excuse me. Mind you, my college was for something that I'm not even doing in real life anymore, so that's... Sorry, wrong finger. My tea is metal. I used to drink. Chai. Oh, beautiful and brainy. She might be worthy enough to make my list. I glanced to my left just in time to catch another classmate, Yahiko Ikari, winking conspicuously at Elizabeth. She clearly ignores him. Well, that's Yahiko for you. I can't remember a day when he hasn't tried to flirt with some girl or another. Nor can I remember a day where he wasn't flat out rejected. Technically, he's my former roommate, which makes him my friend of 2 years. How close of a friend? Well, that's up for debate. She managed to deflect my charms. I wonder how. Me too. No one can No one can resist the Yahiko Ikari. Yahiko! Clamps his mouth shut at the teacher's strident command. She leans heavily against her desk, massaging her temples with her fingers. All right, class. Thanks to Elizabeth, we've seen where we come from. I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of this history recap was. Not really, no. We must study the past to understand the future. As such, it's imperative that the next topic be taken seriously. So, where do you all see yourself 10 years from now? In jail. For good things? Probably. Maybe. I'm barely able to stifle a snort. It's only, the second day of school? Sure, this is a third-year class. Sure, we're preparing for the college entrance exam. Oh, fuck, we're high schoolers. Does that mean that we have to know exactly what we want to do for the rest of our lives? Yes, of course. That's how it works. The teacher pointedly looks at me, a hard glint in her eye. Yama Ishimoto, perhaps you'd like to get us started. I'm tempted to say no thank you, but that'd be pretty rude. I'll manage my parents' restaurant, I guess. Teacher's lips tighten ever so slightly. I know what she's thinking. No passion, no ambition. He will be a failure, this one. It'll pay the bills. What more can I ask for? Really, dude? Out of anything you could have picked, you picked a restaurant manager? Well, what would you suggest? Add a bunch more, dude. Like women and cars. And he criticizes me for lack of imagination. Come on, it's 10 years. Anything can happen. Teacher shoots him a disapproving glare as his voice raises dramatically in volume. Ah, Yahiko, thank you for volunteering. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yahiko beams, and I feel a sudden sense of dread ahead. Here goes his dream, the one that I've heard no less than 200 times before. Well, Teach, I see myself with a Ferrari F500 under one arm, a Lamborghini Aventador 700-4 under the other, and a lot of beautiful women in between, fighting for the honorable privilege of bearing my children. The class stares at him. Ah, heck, let's have some fun. I whisper to him. What about the mansion? Right! Take all that and put it in front of a 20,000 square foot mansion attended to by staff of 1,000 maids? And where is it located? Oh, it's in the Caribbean on an island, a man-made island specifically constructed just for me with my name laser engraved into the hills so that every plane that flies by sees that it belongs to... That's quite enough, Yahiko. Thank you for your, input. Clearly, she doesn't believe in his dream. Actually, I don't think anyone except Yahiko believes in his dream. Then again, Yahiko has enough belief to make up for everyone else. Now, Yumiko, what about you? As the rest of our classmates drone on about joining some kind of mega corporation like Lemnisket or Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, I lean closer to Yahiko. You forgot some things. I did? The yacht? The walk-in closet just for designer shoes? The private jet? The second mansion in Tahiti? Sorry. Downside with trying to do a more bassy voice than my own bassy voice. Oh, excuse me. Oh crap, I did. Hey, Teach! Fortunately for the teacher, the school bell rings before he can grab her attention. My classmates immediately shove their belongings into their bags and bolt for the door. Meanwhile, Yahiko heads straight for the teacher's desk, eyes lit with excitement as he gabbers on and on about his yacht, and his designer shoes, and his private jet, and his secret mansion in Tahiti. A restaurant manager, huh? And then there's Elizabeth, slipping into Yahiko's now vacant seat. She shifts her backpack's weight to the desk and raises a patronizing eyebrow at me. Well, sorry for being realistic, Miss CEO of a mega corporation. Sorry that I actually have ambition, Mr. Manager of the family restaurant. What? Should I have talked about having a mansion and cars and maids on my own personal island? You didn't even shoot for a restaurant not owned by your parents. Sorry, my voice is fucked up. And they'll kick the bucket one day. Might as well be the one who takes over. Have some respect, would you? I snicker at that. Respect? Me? Flash her a bright, overly friendly smile. See you around, Lizzie. She fumes, but forces herself to take a deep breath until her expression stills. Unfortunately, that was a pretty nice comeback. I'll give her that much. Beth, still up for lunch? Student slides through the door with a warm smile and a wave. I recognize her as a girl who's always with Elizabeth. Don't know much else about her. In the blink of an eye, Elizabeth's face softens to a friendly grin. I'll be right there. Yep, just in case it wasn't clear enough, her hate is directed exclusively at me. She's the queen of angels to everyone else. Especially this girl, who I'd guess is the closest thing she has to a friend. Well, Ishimoto, it's been a pleasure. I bet it has. She lifts her chin and stiffly walks out of the room, nearly bumping into a startled Yahiko on the way out. As a train of second years, probably her groupies, pull her away. Yahiko slips next to me. Why did she talk to you? Not me, the great Yahiko Ikari. Maybe because there's a limit to how many brain cells she's willing to sacrifice for conversation? Beats me, she's been doing that for a while. Really? We were in the same class last year. Really? Not surprised that he just learned about this. Then again, to be fair, I don't talk to Yahiko much about my personal life. Yeah, something like that, it's not important. Yahiko evaluates me for a second with an unusually stoic expression, but quickly shakes it off, his face melting into a grin. So, what did you think about my dream earlier? This again. On second thought, maybe we should have kept talking about Elizabeth. Same as the other 200 times you've told me. Hasn't been too has it really? 203 to be exact. Huh. So that means you think it's amazing, right? Totally, I think it's the best dream in history. And it's so original and realistic. Thanks, dude. But I don't think you're aiming high enough. Huh? What should I add? Aim for the moon. He gasps as if it's the best idea ever, the poor soul. Forget Tahiti, a mansion on the moon. You'd be the first. And probably the last. Just think about the possibilities. No one's even set foot on the moon. Imagine how famous I'll be if I build a mansion there. No one's even set foot? Seriously? Either I stepped into the conversation at the wrong time, or somebody just came up with a really stupid idea. Enter Ri Hayata, my friend of 10 years. Technically, she's a grade lower than me, but that doesn't stop us from hanging out. She's stuck with me through thick and thin. She probably knows me better than I know myself. Beside her stands Masato Kurogane, a party in both build and personality. If I had to describe him in one word, I'd use fire. Easily antagonized, hard to put out, and blazes every obstacle out of his way. Afternoon, little daisies, what's going on here? I'm gonna build a vacation home on the moon. Somehow, I can't say I'm surprised. I know, right? Brilliant. Think, the first man on the moon, and the first man to build a mansion on it. You're so bright, you're blinding me. What have you been telling him? Giant leap for him is a small step for mankind? She has to think about that for a moment, but I'm rewarded with the smirk. Clever. I know. Look, if you kids are done yapping, Yama and I gotta head to track. What? Didn't think Yama was joining again this year. Of course he is. This is news to me. Doesn't seem like a good idea, considering he only went to one practice last year and ditched the rest. Well, he ain't ditching this year, ain't that right, man? Well, now that you mention it. What's that? Guys didn't even win last year, Masato. Don't need to make a big deal. Masato's eyes flare with the instinctual need to prove the worthiness of track. We're winning this year. Got a secret weapon. Really? Masato lights up at Reese apparent interest. I don't know how to pronounce that name. My bad. See, we lost last year because we didn't have good names. This year I've got a great one. He pauses for dramatic effect. Marvelous Masa. Well, at the very least, it's a pretty good opportunity to joke around. Wow, that's fantastic! And I'll call myself Speed of Light, Mountain Destroyer! The hell? You should rename yourself to Streaking Shadow, Dark Eradicator. Then we'll be unstoppable! Ain't no way I'm going with that! Yeah, he isn't great with sarcasm. I smirk at him, but before I can elaborate, the PA above us crackles to life. The club fair is officially open in the courtyard. Feel free to drop by and check out some of what your fellow students have planned. Already at just the second day. Maybe the school's just making everything happen faster this year. Don't really see why. Samu Imperial Boarding Academy has always done well for itself, even through the recession. There's no need to change things now. Hey, it's club time. Let's go take a look.
No thanks, I'd rather not be blacklisted.
What does that mean? It means that she's afraid to go with you. You'll outshine her so much that the clubs won't be interested in her. Oh. She glares at me. I only wink back. Well, you shouldn't worry about that, my dear. I'm sure I can use my substantial sphere of influence to get you a good spot.
I'm already in a club, you know? Drama club?
Oh, right. She's been in the drama club since last year, and somehow he's still forgotten. And what was Yama talking about?
Nothing, just acting like an idiot as usual.
Well, you know what they say, like attracts like. She elbows me sharply in the ribs, but her lips are pulling up at the corners.
They also say opposites attract.
Yeah, and we know which one you are. She slaps me playfully on the arm as Masato and Yahiko watch with blank stares. Did I just miss something?
No more than you usually do.
Yahiko frowns for a moment, but eventually shrugs the exchange off. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need to find myself a club to grace with my innumerable talents. They're innumerable, all right. So, without further ado, I bid thee farewell. He turns with a flourish of his hand, but she calls after him.
You know that we'll be there, right?
Huh?
Club recruitment day. All the clubs will be here, including track and drama.
Oh. Well, see you there. There's always the dumb one. He whisks out the worm. You're coming to man the track booth, yeah? Me? Like I'm Track's poster child. In fact, I'd probably just scare away potential recruits. Don't think like that. You can be a great asset, man. You just gotta believe.
AKA every movie theme ever.
We exchange snickers, but Masato grabs my arm. Really, man? You coming? Surprised by his sudden intensity, I contemplate it for a moment. It doesn't take long. Sure, why not? Really? Not like I have anything else to do. Masato grins, releasing my arm. Good, got it set up. But I'm expecting you there. He dashes out of the room after a quick wave to what's-her-face. She smiles back and promptly turns to me. She's going through puberty, her voice cracked.
Have you figured out why he wants you in track so badly?
Not a clue. She hesitates for a moment and glances around the room.
You know, you could join drama club instead. Could be a valid excuse for Masato.
I think he just asked why I joined a different club when I could have joined track.
But still, I think he'd really like it.
Honestly, it sounds like it could be pretty fun. She seems to enjoy it. She often claims that it's just like when we played make-believe as kids. And make-believe is one of the few things that I don't mind doing. But it's so much work.
It's no more work than track, idiot. Besides, it could be really fun.
I'll take your word for it. She rolls her eyes and shoulders her bag.
Well, fine, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Some of us have club booths to manage, so I'm gonna get going.
I'll go with you. We walk in step to the door, almost into freedom, and then the strident voice of the teacher grips through the air. Yama Ishimoto, surely you didn't expect to escape so easily. Ah yes, my attitude problems. I turn to my friend, suddenly pleading. Bail me out?
Not a chance.
What?
What? It builds character.
I have plenty of character. Come on, throw up a distraction. For me? Throw in a shameless dose of puppy eyes. She only pokes my forehead, sticking her tongue out. You win some, you lose some. Just be glad it's with the teacher instead of the police. She darts off as I call faltering after her. But at least the police wouldn't bore me to tears. What was that, young man? I turned to find the teacher hovering right behind me. Whoops. Nothing. Great weather we're having, huh? She doesn't seem amused. At this point... At what point? It's the second day of school, unless she's referring to teaching me last year. Come to think of it, yeah, that's highly possible. It's clear that detention is doing nothing for your toxic behavior. Well, yeah, because I can nap in detention. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of recommending you for therapeutic mentorship, which will take place on campus at the discretion of our dorm manager. Requirements will be 1 hour, 5 days a week. The mentor will need to sign off on every visit. The what now? Are you scheduling brainwashing sessions for me? Excuse me, you might have other ideas, young man, but civility and respect are integral cornerstones of our modern society. If it does result in scrubbing away some of that arrogance of yours, then I say good riddance. I'm shocked by this unusually passionate outburst from her. She slows her breath, shaking as she jabs a book and envelope at me. Take this, Mr. Ryota's office. You know where it is. Tiny pinch of the tension releases. Mr. Ryota's the mentor? Maybe this won't be so bad. Give the book a once-over. The cover is somber and 100% boring. Block letters proclaim primates of the 21st century, 100+ correctional techniques to improve the mindset of any underdeveloped adolescent. Well, that's a mouthful. Well, gee, I'm honored. Take it. I take it. Goodbye, Yama Ishimoto. She flounces out of the classroom, clearly fed up with my shenanigans. Shenanigans! Wordlessly, I turn and head down the corridor. Guess someone's a little touchy. Not that I can blame her. If I had a student like me, I'd hate him too. Tromp down the stairs to the first floor and stop before the door at the edge of the hallway, bearing the sign, J. Ryota, dorm manager. I rap shortly on the wood 3 times. Mr. Ryota? What is it? Nuclear war? What? No! I don't feel like opening the door for anything less important. I could open the door myself? Locked it. Don't bother. I press my ear against the door, listening keenly. There it is. Action-packed orchestral strings, just barely bleeding through the wood. Faint clanging of swords on shields. Are you in a clan war, Mr. Ryota? Bah. A moment later, and the door's lock clicks open. I slip inside the room, holding back a smile. So our dorm manager is a gamer? Okie dokie! I'll try to stop by after I'm done here if it's not too late. Yay, work in the morning. Talk to you later, lizard. Slip inside the room, holding back a smile. The office is minimalistic in its furnishings, but fairly welcoming. Warm light encompasses the rooms, highlighting the comfortable chairs arranged around a coffee table that bears a bowl of potato chips. Looks more like the office of a therapist rather than the office of a school dorm manager. In the corner, I spot a comely mahogany desk, on top of which sits Jiro Ryota in a very dramatic position. Welcome to the Satin Room. Have you brought an offering to appease the Dark Lord? Indeed I have. With an equally exaggerated bow, I present the book and note from my teacher. Mr. Ryota's eyebrows scrunch in confusion. The hell is this? I kinda got in trouble earlier for talking back. Instead of detention, the teacher's convinced that I need a more permanent solution. Like death? I can help you with that. She was thinking more along the lines of counseling. I believe. Oh, okay. What the hell is this? He shakes the book emphatically. The curriculum that the teacher recommends for, helping me? Oh, right. Well, I'll put it where it belongs. Yeah! He promptly throws it in the trash, which extracts a laugh from me. Now to business. Let me read up on what exactly your teacher wants. His eyes drift over the paper that I silently hand to him. Ha! Oh boy, isn't this precious. Let me translate. Dear Mr. Ryota, I'm having trouble subduing a boy who actually has a brain and doesn't care for the inefficiencies of bureaucracy. Sincerely, a woman who was certainly the most boring person in her graduating class. I choke back laughter as he crumples the paper into a ball and lobs it in the trash. By the way, don't tell anyone I said that, or I might get fired. And then you'd have to take canceling from Miss Hanazawa, and then where would we be? Consider the NDA signed. Mr. Ryota reclines easily against his chair, kicking his legs on the table. So, how's the apartment? Still in one piece, mostly. Good to hear. And Phil? Phil? The little houseplant, the one I placed on your shelf. Your memory sucks more than mine, kid. Oh, right. I vaguely remember Mr. Ryota forming an odd attachment to a plant when I'd moved into my apartment, even to the point where he named him Phil. I think he died. That's a bit odd. I thought he was a fake plant. Nope, looked fake on the outside, I guess, but all real inside. A satisfied smile pulls at Ryota's lips, and I suddenly realize the metaphor. We're not talking about plants, are we? Your optimism is inspiring, kid. Would have thought your answer to be the contrary. What? People look real on the outside, but they're all fake inside? Something like that. We talking about plants? We were talking about plants. How was I supposed to know? Well, you know now. So, now that you know, is your answer the same? No. Didn't even need to think about it. It's the truth. People pretend to be genuine on the outside, but inside they're nothing. Mr. Ryota evaluates me for a moment, but to my surprise, there's no judging in his gaze. Yes! Squid Squad! Yep. Group of squids is a squad. I want a whole bunch of squads. Multiple squads. Squads of squids. I love how big and small our little community is. Yeah. I agree, Jay Watercrane. I was there in Jomo's stream when you mentioned it. That's what I mean. It's like our community's big, but not big. Yeah, it's awesome. And yes, science people need to do their job. They do. He evaluates me for a moment, but to my surprise, there's no judging in his case. He must be a real party pleaser. I'll be here all week. What made you draw such a depressing conclusion? Can tell that his mind's on the fast track of psychoanalysis, childhood trauma, to clinical depression, suicidal tendencies. Time to put that to rest, because if anything should be blamed, it should be my 100% natural disdain for humanity. Power of observation, if anything. People like to be strong, confident, independent on the outside. Peel that away, and what do you get? Squids! Squids? They're hurt? Squids. Squad. Then that hurt must be pretty pathetic. Did I ever say otherwise? No, I guess he didn't. Mr. Ryota eases from the topic and leans back on his chair, drawing a planner from his drawer. Well, if it were up to me, I'd say that you're just like any other surly teenager going through the first throes of senioritis. But paperwork's been signed, and you know how bureaucracy goes. Thought our government was supposed to be more efficient since the national changes. Ha! You assume the mayor actually does anything important. He scrawls something down on his tablet and taps the screen. My phone buzzes gently in my pocket. Your teacher recommended that we meet every day, but honestly, who has time for that? We'll just play it by ear, and you let me know if you ever get the urge to murder someone. Probably means you're due for another checkup. I check what he sent me, a copy of the spreadsheet that's taped outside his door, revealing his available times. Wow, how do you have this much free time? Life as a dorm manager is just swell, isn't it? I thought you'd at least have some kind of job. I'll let you in on a secret. Kids here don't cause much trouble. Not because they're angels, not because they're boring, because they're too prissy. They don't want to get their manicured nails dirty with things like graffiti or booze. But they do need someone to cry to when they stub a toe, and the other teachers seem to think that I fit that job description. Actually, it's more likely that they don't want to deal with hormonal brats. So instead of being a helicopter parent, I get to be a bench warmer who just nods and smiles once every few minutes. Like with me? Well, you'll be more interesting than the rest of them, I hope. Yeah, that sounds like the academy in a nutshell. Half the people are too snobby to be fun, and the other half are too lazy to care. What do you get to hear? Whining about grades, toxic relationships? Sometimes, but not always. At any rate, I can't exactly complain. It makes my job easy. Thank you for your massive contribution to society. You're absolutely welcome. They seem to equal yours. I snort. He chuckles. Yeah, this could have been really painful if I hadn't gotten to Mr. Ryota. Well, as your loving, caring, and awe-inspiring mentor, I can hardly keep you from the beauty that is Club Recruitment Day. Oh no, I'm fine, really. Off you go, take a selfie and send it to me. Or I'll schedule an appointment tomorrow. But that's... You said... You need to expand your opportunities, broaden your horizons, go where no man has gone before. But... And most importantly, you need to get out of my office so I can check my clan. That's just sad, Mr. Ryota. World domination calls. See ya! And without another word, he shoved me out and slammed the door in my face. Have no choice but to head to the school courtyard. Doesn't take much time to find Masato behind the track table, armed with I Heart Track flags and I Heart Track posters and I Heart Track headbands. I get this very vague feeling that he loves track. He welcomes me enthusiastically, immediately piling all admin duties on me. But, true to my word, I proceed to be completely useless throughout the recruitment process. Eventually, Masato seems to give up, handing me a simple sign to wave around. I amuse myself by coming up with truly terrible pitches. I need to wet my whistle. Want a six-pack? Join track! Looking for health hacks? Join track. Get a neck? Join track. Rid your lack? Join track. Pick up the slack? Join track. For reasons unknown, Masato seems to love this. He grins and slaps me on the back. There you go, you just need to apply yourself, see? I'm pretty sure that those glances we're getting from the underclassmen aren't looks of admiration. I'm pretty sure you're right. Despite my obvious shortcomings, Masato hooks 4 recruits into track. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised that he got that many. A lot of the attendees of the school are the richer, lazier kids. I also noticed that he seems to be a lot easier on them than he was on me. And I am going to resize this just a wee bit so you guys can actually see all the words. That might be too much. There. When the club recruitment fair is done and everything's torn down, Masato and I head to the school entrance to wait for Shi and Yahiko. Ri? I'm saying Ri now. For reasons unknown, Masato is ecstatically chattering about my newfound enthusiasm. You killed it today, man. That's the kind of team spirit we need. Great, I might have just gotten myself into more trouble. Well, I guess I was in track for most of last year. Might as well do it again this year.
To him, and then I said, "Jesus on a gravy stick of mother load, we could use a man with your skills." And so he signed the contract with the blood from his veins, thereby permanently joining the drama club. Wow, I can't believe you're so good at recruiting people. You know that what they've said to me? What? Something like, get a life, you're just in denial about reality. Well, darn my socks, you these days are so cynical.
The two come to a halt as Masato waves Ri over.
Well, looks like you guys had plans. I'd better leave you and you and everyone else to have some nice time together.
What are you talking about? It's more like babysitting duty, where I'm the babysitter and I have to make sure a bunch of kids won't, set the house on fire and stuff.
Aw, come on, he's your best friend, isn't he? And your childhood friend?
Why does that always equal boyfriend? Anime tropes. Childhood friend does not equal husband. Or boyfriend. Or fuck buddy. Fuck buddy? Fuck buddy. Don't care how many anime/hentai you watch. That is not how it works.
Yeah, but have you guys made a childhood promise together?
See what I mean?
What? No way! Really?
Really, those kinds of things are
more cliche than explosions in an action movie?
Exactly.
Well, think of it this way. Although explosions may be cliche, they're also a staple. Can't have a proper action movie without proper explosions. It's the same with life. You can't have a proper childhood friend without a proper childhood promise.
I wins.
Does she have to mention romance? Really?
Oh, look! There they are! Guess I better get going.
Have fun storming my castle!
Okay, the girl cheerily skips away as Ri sprints to us for refuge. I try for a smirk. Looks like you and Akira had a productive recruitment day. Akira Karube, Ri's best friend, current roommate, and self-appointed matchmaker. Also another person who I don't get along with, but let's be honest, do I get along with anyone? Akira was sure productive. I barely had any luck. I noticed that she's mastered herself surprisingly quickly. Well, I guess that 10 years of make-believe and drama club would do that to you. How'd you guys do? We got 4 new recruits, 15 liters of fresh blood.
15 liters? Did you just pull a number out of your head, or is it actually legit?
Real? Woman? Of course it's legit. Average weight's 55 kilograms. The average teenager, whose blood volume is 7% his or her total weight, got ourselves 4 new recruits. Ri's eyes are already swimming as he raves on, seemingly unaware of the curious glances from the freshmen who've pegged him as a rough thug. Assuming no one's anemic, we got 55 by 4 in total kilograms, which is 220. Multiply that by 0.07 for the weight to blood volume ratio. Bam! 15.4. Rounded down to 15 for a nice round number, and we got ourselves 15 liters of fresh blood. And this is why Masato's really good at catching people off guard.
I can't believe you actually calculated that.
Why? Ain't no trouble.
Sure sounds like trouble.
Hell no, you should see what we do in Honor Society. Yes, Honor Society. Not only does he participate in it, he's the president. Oh, did I not mention that he's literally good at everything? Athletics, academics, heck, probably even art. Except sarcasm. It's one area I can trump him in. The only area.
Oh, here comes the great Yahiko Ikari.
Sure enough, a familiar shock of blonde hair pops around the corner. Yahiko's beaming, but I notice that he's not holding a single sign-up page in his hand. Good day to you, my pitiful peasants. You've arrived just in time to witness my brilliant plan. Technically, he was the one who came to us, but I stay silent. You see, I have decided to create my own club. A club worthy of my immeasurable greatness. In other words, he got rejected by all the other clubs.
Oh boy.
You're making a club? Good for you. I know. I'm going to call it the Happy Club, and it'll be comprised of minions who will follow my every bidding.
I think we just witnessed the creation of the shadiest club on campus.
We will start by taking over the school, then Isamu, then Japan, then the entire world! Well, at least he doesn't lack ambition. I am totally fucking up my voices tonight, guys. I am sorry. Those coughs did more harm than good. My bad. I didn't do enough vocal warm-up exercises. My customer service voice is way too high-pitched for this shit. Well, it's high-pitched enough for blonde anime chickies, and that's about it. And once my mansion on the moon is built, we'll have dominion over the universe itself!
But he does like brains.
What you guys talking about all secret like?
Nothing. We were just talking about how we haven't gone to GFC in a while.
As completely unconvincing as this excuse is, she successfully turns Masato's attention to food. GFC? I like the way you think, Reed. We better go now before the dinner rush starts.
Yeah.
He marches off, humming cheerily as Yahiko blathers on about how amazing his new club will be. Great cover.
I know.
Totally inconspicuous.
Just as inconspicuous as that time you wore a kimono.
Of course she'd bring that up. You want to get tickled?
You wouldn't dare.
Whenever you mention anything about kimonos, I feel a sudden urge to tickle the nearest person.
We better get going. We should follow Masato and Yahiko to GFC! Yeah!
She speeds away before I have a chance to stop her. I only chuckle to myself as I catch up. I'm going to turn the game audio down, because I keep seeing it peaking louder than I am talking. As we make our way to the lively shopping area, a few blocks away from campus, a couple of details catch my attention. Okay. There's endless posters and billboards plastered with faces of politicians with broad, candid smiles proclaiming in bold letters, "Back to prosperity! The recession is over!" and "Do more with more!" upon scrolling tablets and giant projected screens. That's normal. There's the smoker and his buddy, the random drunkard, the group of tourists clutching electronic pamphlets titled "Welcome to the Glorious Metropolis of Isamu," while taking pictures in front of every possible location. And most of all, the ordinary samurai power walking down sidewalks with resumes clutched in their hopeful hands. That's also normal. Everything's normal. Completely normal. So, why do I feel so uneasy? Maybe it's the skyscrapers. I've never liked them. They're too tall. And I always get the impression that they're watching me. Not like Guardians either. Not some benevolent force that's watching over the city. More like staring. Waiting. For the right moment to strike. And then there's the smog. That terrible, musky pollution that sits on my skin like a coat of hard mud. Every breath is disgusting, but every breath is necessary. I hate this city. I really, really do. Too bad that there's nothing better. Not really. Too bad that Isamu has always been the best, if not only, option.
Pay attention, you idiot!
I'm startled out of my thoughts by Masato grabbing my arm and yanking me out of the street.
Do you not see the red light? Red means stop.
And stop means your velocity reaches 0. You could have been run over by a truck. Despite myself, I'm touched with their concern. I'm fine, let's go. After eyeing me for a long moment, Yahiko shrugs and bounds to GFC's automatic doors, activating the motion sensor with a flourish. Ladies first. Lady? Where?
Right here.
She slaps a hand on my shoulder with a cheery grin. Oh, good one. You mean Yama's been a girl all this time? Yes.
No, heavens no, that'd be really awkward.
Why?
Let's go have some chicken. Boy, I'm so hungry. Fried chicken. Mm-hmm.
She quickly skips into GFC, leaving Masato thoroughly bewildered. Don't get it. Why is it awkward? Beats me. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have a good idea, but there's no way I'm bringing it up. Look, are we having chicken or not? Of course we are. What do you take me for? Well, good thing that neither he nor Yahiko are very perceptive. Without further ado, we enter GFC. General fried chicken has always been a favorite of students from the academy. It's fast, it's cheap, and it's within walking distance. Wrong button. It's also pretty nice, considering that it's a fast food outlet. Tables are clean, the walls are lined with cushioned booths, and the red and beige paint slathered on the walls seems fresh and pristine. For some, the smell of heavy grease and oil is overbearing. For us, it's the smell of pure heaven.
This place smells like death.
Well, most of us. Were you the one who was in such a hurry to come in?
Fried chicken.
Shut up. After we order and pick up our chicken, we slip into the nearest booth. Masato rifles through his wallet, frown crossing his lips. Damn, the dough's cocky. I have no clue what he just said.
What?
Thankfully, no one else seems to know either. Masato is slightly startled, as if he hadn't noticed that we were there. Nothing. So, how was class? That's pretty suspicious, but we all decide to let it pass. We're nice like that.
Pretty good, but I don't know anyone in my class.
What? They're giving you a hard time?
What? Nothing like that. It's just, you guys are a year older, and Akira's in a different class this year.
Bah, I'm sure you make truckloads of friends. Yeah, you're almost as charming as me.
Thanks, guys.
Despite the cheery exchange, I noticed that there's a shadow to Ri's eyes. She definitely should have a lot of friends. She's likable, warm, and fun and talented, but for reasons unknown, chooses to spend most of her time with me, a useless cynic, and Akira, an optimist with a few screws loose. I've always wanted to ask why, but a small part of me is afraid that the moment I bring it up, she'll realize it and leave. No, I need to do this. It's the least I can do. Why don't you hang out with your classmates? The words come out a lot harsher than I intended, but Ri doesn't even seem to be offended. Her expression darkens, but it's one of anger, not hurt.
I don't want to hang around people like them.
Why not?
They're a bunch of fakes. All they do is judge me, or others in the class, or even one another. They're not outright mean, but I don't like it when people talk behind my back. And they pick on this shy girl in our class for no reason. It's stupid.
You really hate them, don't you?
Not really, but we don't get along.
She picks idly at her chicken. The air feels somber and heavy. Hey, you know what we need? A competition. Now's not the time to be bringing up competitions, Masato.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Wait, what? She's never said that before. Generally because Masato's never come up with any good ideas. I'll have to sit this one out, or it won't even be a contest. So, you and me, Yama? Sorry. Three 3 guy voices. 2 very similar guy voices. No thanks. You don't even know what it is. Fine, what is it? Who can eat the most triple S's in the shortest amount of time? No thanks. Hey. The Triple S Hot Wings is GFC's most infamous menu item, an order of blindingly spicy wings. I don't particularly feel like disabling my mouth forever, thanks. Ree wants to watch. Glance at Ree. The prospect of watching a competition does seem appealing to her, probably because she can make fun of the stupidity of it all. Well, if it'll cheer up Ree... Gosh, I need serious help. And I need a light that doesn't blind me. Fine, you're paying though. Never fear, the generous Yahiko Ikari shall bestow you with the necessary funds. He shells some cash to Masato, who takes it with a nod of thanks. Boy, this'll be fun. For me. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Why not? You mean, why wouldn't I want to participate in a competition that could potentially ruin my mouth and traumatize me forever? Yeah, exactly. This guy. Sometimes I wonder if he's trying to be this, well, stupid. Oh yeah. Masato returns and slides 2 platters of Triple S hot wings to the center of the table. Now remember, every good competition needs a good audience. Let me hear it for Team Kurogane. Ooh. Hey Ree, why ain't you cheering? Huh? Oh, I'm in character as an audience member who's cheering for Yama. Pshaw, you and your drama club. Fine, give it up for Team Ishimoto! Yeah! Everyone in the restaurant drops into silence and stares at us. I elbow her in the ribs, feeling a flush creep up my cheeks. Stop that! But I'm in character! Sure you are. Okay, whatever, let's get going. I got an email. Oh no, my Fitbit charge is low. We lean forward, hands just a hair away from the tray as Ree looks on with an expectant smile. 3, 2, 1, go! Masato immediately starts shoveling hot wings into his mouth, but I take a few moments to gather myself before I take a bite. The chicken seems to explode in my mouth, sending streaks of fire down my tongue. I cough violently and gulp down some water. This was a terrible idea. Woohoo! You mustn't fail me, marvelous minion! Oh, everyone actually is watching. Hey, you gotta cheer for Yama. This isn't any fun. But now that I've noticed, it's kind of embarrassing. Gee, thanks. It's not like I'm doing this for you or anything. Grimacing, I shove the remainder of the wing into my mouth and spit it out. The meat burns down my esophagus and simmers in my stomach. Oh, I can feel the heat. Come on, Yama needs his cheering squad. Rip, rip, ree, kick him in the knee. Rip, rip, ras, kick him in the other knee. Go, Masato, go, Masato. Masato spits out his bones on the platter. 3 wings down already, and I've just started my second. For some reason, that makes me feel unusually competitive. Whoa, you got this, you're beating him. Ice cream, soda, banana split. We think your team's full of. Shift to the left, shift to the right. Stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. What? After she finishes her chant and quickly turns away to hide her embarrassment, I barely work through one more mouthful of fried chicken before giving up. There has to be another way. Yeah, 5th wing down, keep going. Go Yama. My eyes land on an innocuous packet sitting from beneath the chicken bucket. GFC hot sauce. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures. While Masato reaches for his sixth wing, I surreptitiously rip the end off the hot sauce packet and squirt it over his platter. He only smirks at me. Ha! Gonna take more than a little ketchup to win. He bites triumphantly into the wing. Oh, that's no ketchup. He freezes. I swear that steam is coming out of his ears. It's GFC's signature hot sauce. Hot, hot, hot! Desperate Masato launches out of the booth and sprints to the soda machine. Hey, that was cheating. Is it cheating if there weren't any rules in the first place?
Either way, it was pretty dirty. Poor Masato.
She looks pointedly at Masato, who's slowly dragging himself back into the booth while chugging a cup of water. I feel a slight tinge of guilt at his suffering, but Ree's obvious improved mood makes it worth it. This ain't the end. He keels over the table, somehow managing to continue drinking from his cup. Oh, that reminds me of the latest episode of Gover Meecher. Mecker? Gover Mecker.
What?
You haven't heard of Gover Mecker?
Do you have to yell so loudly?
Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't been kicked out for causing a public disturbance yet. One cannot help but yell at the epicness of Gover Mecker.
Okay, fine. What is it?
It's this web series that a couple of my hellmates made. Remember? Over the summer?
Oh yeah, I saw you running around wearing a long blonde wig or something.
Great, that's a mental image I'm not getting out of my head anytime soon. Yeah, it's about the President of the United States. Well, it's called Asarima in our web series. Isn't that clever? Fighting over politicians to defend his country.
So it's like a political drama?
No way, dude, that's boring. They battled it out in giant robots. The president's is red, white, and blue. It even has an eagle motif and everything. That sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That sounds like the coolest thing I've ever heard. He's alive.
Is he for real?
Of course. I'm headlining the main event. I'm the president's aide.
If you're the president's aide, you're a side character. You're not the lead.
Huh? Really? Well, I, for one, am proud of you. You finally found your calling, being a background character. I know, right? A good wee start. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the physical manifestation of the saying, ignorance is bliss. This guy. Blondie on the right. Episodes are all up on the website. Just search the title Gover Mecker and you're all set.
Well, we'll have to check it out. Are you serious?
How else will I know how to viciously badmouth it?
I can't decide whether to be offended or be impressed.
Why not both? Hey, you two listening?
Sorry, what?
Nah, I was just saying that I gotta go back. I briefly checked my phone. 6:10 p.m. Almost Masato's curfew. Yeah, he has this thing where he goes to bed at 9:30 sharp every night. Just one more way that he's completely crazy. Disciplined but crazy. Still, it's best to honor that. The only thing worse than a normal Masato trying to drag me back into track is a grumpy Masato trying to drag me back into track. Then let's go. We head out of the restaurant and back to the academy right as the sun starts to set.
Oh, pretty.
Kind of a ritual to walk with them, even though I don't live at the dorms anymore. I live at an apartment within walking distance. But since there's nothing and no one waiting for me at my apartment, I kind of just go wherever they go. Maybe it's because our stomachs are full, but we're completely silent on the way back. It's a comfortable silence, but still silence, and that means thinking. Overthinking, unfortunately. I almost jump as I see a group of 3 policemen race by on the opposite side of the street, approaching sirens, piercing the air with their incessant wailing, direct our attention to
Oh
Whoa. A wave of nausea washes over me. The front of a city bus is crumpled against the back of a pickup truck. Thin trails of smoke mix with the pungent smell of burnt rubber and scrap metal. The scene is surrounded by a unit of police cars and a fire truck, along with a crowd of shaken people along the sidewalk.
no! How awful.
At least they all look okay. We can't do anything about it. Let's go. Masato and Yahiko nod hesitantly, but Ri only stares thoughtfully at me. I stare at her. She tilts her head. I shrug. This seems to help her come to a decision as she suddenly turns to Masato and Yahiko with a very convincing smile.
Hey, Masato, Yahiko, why don't you guys head on back? I got something to do real quick.
Masato opens his mouth, clearly confused, but Yahiko elbows him in the side and shakes his head ever so slightly. What? Say, we'd better get back before your curfew. Hold your horses, I was gonna ask. Come along, peasant, your king commands it. With a final wave, Yahiko drags Masato down the street. Ri turns her attention to me.
I'm inviting myself over.
Gee, thanks.
That's what friends are for.
Despite the smirk on her face, I catch her glancing at the ruined bus. I can't find it in me to argue with her. Sure, I guess. We switch our route to a different street, remaining silent as we pass by 3 more police officers. We reach Myriad Apartments without much difficulty. It's a pretty decent place at a low price. A lot of academy students are known to live here due to its close proximity to the campus.
Do a lot of students live here?
Yeah, why?
Oh, well, what if someone sees us? I don't want them to get the wrong idea.
I feel a little uneasy as I remove my shoes. Judging from the blush on her face, it's less that she's worried about a ruined reputation, and more that she's trying to cover up certain feelings. Feelings that I'm not ready to deal with. How did this go from me being a murderer to me being in love with this girl? I want it to be a murder story again. Don't worry, I'm sure they just think you're one of my guy friends.
Don't even look like a boy.
I only smirk at her as I flop on the sofa. This is the place I know as home sweet home. Simple furniture, random pieces of clothing here and there, and a basic kitchen crammed into the corner. Not too fancy, but not shabby in the slightest. Comfortable. Reen doesn't seem to feel the same way. She gives everything a disapproving look as she proceeds through the apartment.
I think this place has gotten messier.
So sue me.
Can I actually?
No. She looks over me for a moment and something in her expression shifts.
So, that bus.
I sigh noisily and close my eyes. Can we talk about something else?
You hungry?
Huh?
I can make some omelets.
Isn't that breakfast food? Instead of replying, I just hear the rhythmic patter of footsteps against the carpet. In just a few minutes, there's the clack-clack of a knife against a chopping board, the gentle sizzle of oil in a frying pan, and the tick-tick-tack of chopsticks whipping against the bowl of eggs. A heavenly aroma rises in the air. Ree? At the lack of response, I open my eyes. It takes a little effort, but I manage to pull myself up and head to the kitchen. Ree? I stop short. Ree's zeroed in on the stove, sprinkling ham and cheese over a bubbling layer of egg and humming a catchy little tune. The apron tied around her waist should be way too big for her, but somehow it looks perfect. Wait, this is Ree. Ree Hayata. Get a grip, Yama. Get a grip. No, it's too late.
Welcome home, honey. You must be starving. I prepared dinner just for you.
Wow, I'm so lucky for marrying such a wonderful woman, not to mention adorable.
Oh, sweetie, I'm the lucky one. Look at your chiseled jaw, your beautiful eyes.
I'm not the one who's a work of art, baby.
Hee hee. Well, why don't you have a seat, Pumpkin? Dinner's almost served.
I simply can't wait to taste your delicious food, Angel.
What would you prefer, darling? Dinner, a bath, or me?
Oh, sugar, we both know the answer to that question.
In that case, love, the first course will be...
Your lips?
My fist!
I immediately jerked back to reality, the terrible vision dissipating into thin air. Well, that escalated quickly. I don't even want to know what would bring such a terrible image to mind. Ree and me married? I shudder on the inside. Not that she's, well, bad or anything. We understand each other more than anyone else. But then we'd have to be in a romantic relationship, and romance in high school is just... Well, we could end up losing our friendship entirely, which would suck. And is 99.9999% likely given my great luck. Crap, what am I even thinking about? Back to reality. What are you making?
Omelets?
Are you sure? She nudges me in the side, but she's smiling.
Plate, please.
Huh?
Plate, idiot!
Yeah, Your Majesty. We keep things light, and teasing as I reach into a cabinet and pass a plate to Ree. She freezes slightly when my shoulder brushes against hers, but I pretend not to notice. Just what the doctor ordered. One premium plate imported directly from the mystical land of Denmark.
I graciously accept this offering, O humble servant. May there be lasting peace between our countries.
She deftly slides the omelet onto the plate in one fluid motion, dipping into a slight curtsy as I dig in. The delectable flavor of mozzarella, cheddar, ham, and mushrooms explodes in my mouth. Am I in heaven? Ree beams proudly.
That good?
As if an angel made it herself. Oh wait, one did. Sometimes I swear there's someone else in this head of mine. It's delicious. The genuine heart-rending smile that spreads across her face just makes my stomach sink. That's not the kind of smile you make when you're complimented on your cooking by a friend. Just a friend, that is. She looks like she could jump over the moon, that kind of shining, beautiful smile that is only made when the smiler is utterly happy and completely ignorant that they're utterly happy. I want her to be happy, but false hopes is just too cruel. Maybe there's something I can do to put her down without hurting her. Hey, Ree, do you ever think that maybe we hang out too much?
What?
Gentle, be the gentlest human being on earth. Except the thing I'm quite possibly worst at is being gentle. You know, high school is the time to explore, especially since we're getting ready for university. So maybe we should be spending time just, looking at other things, going to events, stuff like that.
You're telling me that you're going to an event with people?
I'm saying that we shouldn't be together so often. Her face immediately falls. Damn it. I already know that my words have hit her harder than I've intended. After all, pretty much all we've been doing for the past 10 years has been hanging out. We were each other's only constant amidst new locations, new schools, new friends, that one firm foundation that's there until the end of time. If you separated Ree from Yama and Yama from Ree, I'm not sure what you would find. To have me, who's always been relying on her, leeching off her, suggest that he wants to go on his own way and do his own thing, well, that's awfully short-sighted and ungrateful. But I guess that's what I am, really, because I'm too scared that Ree will truly, honestly end up falling in love with me. Not that I have any clue why she would, but insurance is key. Look, I appreciate this, but I'm not a kid anymore, I can take care of myself just fine. That's not true. Like, I know the place needs a good cleaning. I don't need someone else to tell me. I attempt to soften the blow as much as I can. I like hanging out with you, but when it comes to this point, I think...
I'm so sorry, Yama. I didn't mean to offend you.
You what?
I wasn't trying to replace her.
I freeze. Sudden pain fills my lungs, like I'm breathing in fire. My vision spins for a moment and... no, I fight it. Then it's gone. My knees suddenly go weak and I stagger forward, quickly catching myself on the couch. Ree rushes forward, but I quickly throw out a hand. This. You see this? You're being a burden now. The words are too harsh. I regret them as soon as they slip out. Can you just let me think right now? It's what I've always said whenever I want to be alone. Well and truly alone. The need to think has nothing to do with it, and Ree knows this.
I'll be right out. Goodbye.
To make her feel this way is despicable. The back of my mind congratulates me with a wry, well, you got what you wanted. She'll make some other friends now. I silently watch Ree as she slips on her shoes and abruptly fixes me with a pleading look.
See you tomorrow?
Because she wants to know that everything will be okay. Because she wants everything to return to normal. I should go the whole way. I should say, no, probably not, or maybe we'll see. Instead, I send an automatic smile. Yeah, see you, Ree.
Have a good night, Yama.
The relief in her voice is palpable as she closes the door behind her. It takes everything in me to stop myself from catching up to her and offering to walk her back. Why is it that when it really comes down to it, I can't even push people away properly? Given my prickly personality, I would have thought that I could do at least that. Guess not, though. Guess it's just another thing to add to the list of things Yama can't do. Kinda wonder if there's anything that's not on that list. I sit up, kneading at the tense knots in my shoulders. Technically, I need to study tonight, but before that, I should try to wind down. Book. I didn't even think there was decisions to be made in this game, because we're, an hour and a half in? All things considered, I'd rather not destroy my brain by watching Gover Mecker. It might be a better idea to read a book. I rifle through my shelves, searching for a good book. The Many Adventures of Kunoichi. I remember this was my favorite book when I was a kid. I haven't read it in a while, though. I flip the book open, absorbing the lifelike print on the page. It narrates the story of a girl who wants to be a ninja. She starts off pretty low on the chain, mere errand girl. She also has this big crush on a friend whom she's known since they were kids. Sound familiar? Chapter continues. Kunoichi ends up failing on even really simple errands.
Tentacles and vines?
I know you're still here, Stacy. No worries. Probably in the tub. It's simple errands since her friend randomly starts hanging around her more. She tries to confess, but he's apparently totally oblivious to her feelings. Please, anyone could tell that he knew. He's just trying to... Well, it's time to study. Dig through my backpack and crack open a few books. This year will probably be really intense with the entrance exam coming up and all. Might as well do a little work. It'll be more of a pain to deal with nagging teachers than the work itself. After engrossing myself for some time, I checked the clock. It's 11. Good enough. Maybe I should just apologize to Ree tomorrow. Indulge myself in our friendship. Let everything go back to normal. Selfish of me again, but maybe this time I should just be selfish. Why is it so bright outside? Why is it already 8:30? I leap to my feet, scrambling to pull my clothes on and tear out the door. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm not even a good student. In fact, I'm pretty much every teacher's nightmare. Being in a rush to get to school isn't like me. Maybe it's because there's a difference between choosing to ditch and ditching by accident. One is your conscious decision, and the other is not.
Saving, just in case.
Highly descriptive, I know. I'm told that my essays are a joy to read. By the time I actually enter the classroom, it's already 8:42. Teacher glanced at me from his periphery, but surprisingly enough, he doesn't try to humiliate me. In fact, he doesn't make a single comment. It's as if I wasn't late at all. Elizabeth, on the other hand, is wearing a prominent glare as I slip into my seat. She keeps her mouth shut, but her face radiates with disapproval. Yahiko nudges my foot and gestures frantically. Dude! His voice spits out in a hurried whisper. I lean over to hear what he has to say. What? Of all the days to be late, and you had to choose today? What? Was there a pop quiz? There was a pop quiz! I'll take that as a no. Dude, I'm talking about that cutie over there. You missed her intro earlier. He gestures vaguely to the back of the classroom. I sneak a peek when I'm sure the teacher isn't looking. Ooh, she is cute. Find a girl sitting by the window, head delicately turned against slender fingers as she examines something in the distance. Why do they wear thigh highs? You can't see my mouse, but I'm circling the thigh highs. Skirts that barely covered their nether bits and thigh highs. Like, really? In ordinary circumstances, I might have thought her to be gorgeous. After all, she matches the ideal of traditional beauty to a T. Silky hair, porcelain skin, delicate lips, the whole 9 yards. But instead, I only find myself thinking, what the hell? Promptly followed by, who, what, when, where, why, how? Very intelligible, I know, but how else am I supposed to react when an old friend, whom I haven't seen in ages, just randomly walked back into my life? Not only that, but as a transfer student to my school on the very last year I happened to be here. Her eyes snap to mine, but before I can see her reaction, I quickly whip back to the front of the classroom. Maybe I'm seeing things. Maybe it's not really her. There's no way it can be her. Right? I reluctantly tune my hearing back to the teacher, who seems to be in a very enthusiastic rant about technology. Surprise, surprise. This generation is wasting away from being glued to dead pixels every waking moment. Well, today I'm not having any of these newfangled contraptions. We're returning to trusty pen and paper. As the class erupts into groans, he scribbles 3 words on the board with his stylus. Your dream job. They just won't give us a break, will they? Furthermore, the teachers deactivated our tablets and is currently handing out sheets of lined paper. Handwriting? Really? As Yahiko passes a stack of paper to me, he leans close. So, what do you think? I think I'm tired of writing about my non-existent future. Huh? I was talking about the new girl. Oh, right, the new girl. Was her name Misaki Kazuya? Haya, by any chance? How did you know? So it really is her. Never. Okay. I'm guessing it said something. Nope. Can't see something back different. Oh, I know. You must have some sort of psychic ability. What? I mean, how else would could you have known her name? Can you read her mind too? What does she think of me? How he came to that conclusion is beyond me. It's Yahiko. Nevertheless, it seems like an excellent opportunity to screw with him. It'd be a shame not to. Totally something I would do, she's saying. Yay, water. Press my fingers to my temples, pretending to tune into Misaki's thoughts, and clicking both buttons at the same time. Oh, I see. What? She has a huge crush on you. Really? But? Yahiko shakes his leg impatiently as I pause. Can you stop thinking for a second? I keep getting interference. Huh? Oh, sorry. He scrunches his face in concentration. Now you're thinking of not thinking. Whoa, you really can read minds! Doubt my abilities? No, I just... Shh, I'm getting something. Yahiko clamps his mouth shut. I rub my temples, mumbling under my breath. Seems she has a crush on you, but she doesn't think you have the courage to talk to her. Yahiko puffed out his chest as if he were presented with a challenge. Ha! As if anything can deter the great Yahiko Ikari from approaching such a beauty. Ow! I just hit my funny bone. I didn't hit it, but I hit, like, the nerve. And it just made my whole hand go tingly. Sorry. Yahiko, this is a writing prompt, not a discussion prompt. Focus on your own assignment. Right. Sorry, Teach. He immediately regains his composure and starts scribbling messily on his composition paper. That was oddly quick. Take a quick glance around. My classmates are hunched over their desks, some writing furiously, some staring awkwardly into space. The most avid one is Elizabeth, who's already on a second page, lips moving furtively as her arm blurs down her paper. I'm not surprised. She retains this naive belief that she can actually control her future. Can't wait for life to prove her wrong. Misaki, on the other hand, has completely thrown away any pretense of studiousness, choosing to text under the desk with one hand while simultaneously pretending to write with the other. That's pretty impressive, actually. Take a quick pinch on the arm to check my state of consciousness. Not dreaming, apparently. It's Misaki Kazuhaya in the flesh. 5 minutes. Right, the assignment. What did the teacher say? Dream job? Write one page? Stare at the prompt on the screen as if it will provide an answer. Meh, I don't want to deal with this. Deftly set my pencil to paper and scribble my response. 1 page. Totally me. As morning classes slug on, I feel a very prominent gaze burning into the back of my head. Is it Ri or is it Misaki? I refuse to turn around, trying to piece together my thoughts. Should I approach her or not? When the bell rings, Yahiko immediately tugs on my sleeve, his face shining. Dude, I'm gonna talk to her. Who? The new girl, of course. She must be the shy princess type waiting for a Prince Charming to sweep her off her feet. Who better than me to make her dream come true? Oh, excuse me. You mean her nightmare? Well, good luck with that. You're not coming? Why would I? Surely Yahiko Ikari wouldn't be suggesting that he needs help from me. To learn, of course. I worry for you, my man. You may end up a spinster your whole life. Spinster is a woman, but okay. You haven't snagged a single date in all the time I've known you. Well, neither have you, but I won't mention that. Or the fact that spinsters are exclusively female. God damn it, I love Yama. Including the murderous intent. Just putting that out there. Murderous intent. So, are you coming? I am, I guess. At the very least, this will be a chance for me to see what kind of person she's become. Yahiko swaggers over to the side of Misaki's desk, desperately raising a single eyebrow as he flips his hair out of his face. Why, hello there. Brace myself for a slap or a headlock in response. But Misaki only tilts her head quietly to the side, regarding him with a single arched eyebrow. Can I help you? This appears to fluster Yahiko for a moment. Thankfully, he's not the school's best Casanova for nothing, which honestly really tells you something about the quality of our Casanovas. Actually, yes. Do you have a map? Because... Sorry, I have an itch. Okay. Before he can even finish his sentence, Misaki's fingers whip around her phone with the ease of long practice. In 3 seconds flat, she's pulled up a compass map onto her screen and shoved it in front of his face. Hey, Rose! How you doing? That's a dime. That's a big dime. You don't realize how big those alerts are until you see them on top of another game. Y-H. In front of his face.
Here. Where in particular are you looking for?
Wait.
Oh, are you also a transfer student?
What?
That certainly would make much more sense. I was just thinking, it's a little strange that a student would be asking me for directions since I just transferred here.
Yay, dinner! I had mushroom soup. Cream of mushroom soup and tea.
But I should have realized. You must feel the instant connection of a fellow transfer student. When did you come here?
Wait, this is a big misunderstanding. I'm trying to hit on you.
Oh, I see. 7 out of 10.
Huh?
I rated your approach. You didn't even introduce yourself.
You're right. How careless of me. I am the one and only Yahiko Ikari. Surely you've heard of me. I highly doubt that.
You wouldn't by any chance happen to be the Yahiko Ikari from Governmecker? The President's Aide? That Yahiko Ikari?
Yahiko's chest practically doubles in size. Wait, what? Indeed I am. Are you by any chance a fan?
The biggest! I really enjoy the political satire, and the music is just amazing.
This has to be some big joke. Did you know that our patter tag is one of the top trending? And Isamu Chimes is listed as a viral phenomenon? Viral for what reasons? Well, that must be a different story.
Congrats! I was sure that it would become a big hit.
But of course, even the stars themselves are no match for an Ikari. Or the moon. Oh yeah! Guess what my next dream is?
Is it...
To build a vacation home on the moon, yes!
A vacation home? I wonder what would happen if you jumped on a trampoline while on the moon. How high could you go?
I don't know, but I'm definitely going to test it. Yahiko and Misaki are new besties, apparently, which is nothing short of absolutely terrifying. Meanwhile, I'm being completely ignored. Probably on purpose. Maybe she doesn't recognize me? Hey, Miki. She tilts her head in my direction, eyes bright.
Hi. Do I know you?
Wait, what? She doesn't remember? Come to think of it, she hadn't spared me a single word, or even a glance. She doesn't... How could she not? It's Yama Ishimoto. He's my minion.
I'm sorry, I don't think we've met.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. Childhood friend, 4 years back, you, me, and Ree, we all hung out together? What? Total blankness. She honestly forgot. Words start pouring out of my mouth as I frantically search for something to get a reaction out of her. We all lived in Saito, small town 3 hours drive away. Yes? No?
I'm sorry, I don't think...
We all played together. We were inseparable. We met at that festival, the one with the lanterns. Misaki's expression gradually turns from polite to more and more skeptical. Of all ways I had imagined we'd reunite, this was definitely not at the top of the list. Do you really not remember?
I'm really very sorry.
This can't be it. Ree and I bawled our eyes out after she left. We hovered by the phone for hours, waiting for a single call. When nothing came, we even resorted to hovering by the mailbox in the vain hopes that we'd receive some snail mail. Is she saying that during that time, that 1 month, which turned into 6, which turned into 1 year, which turned into 4 years. She'd just forgotten us? How could that be possible? Unless, by any chance, you haven't gotten into a tragic car accident and ended up with amnesia, have you? That's why you haven't called, not in 4 years? She backs away slowly, eyeing me like I'm an insane psychopath. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. I wore a kimono. You really don't remember? She stops at that, a flash of recognition catching her eyes. Got her. I wore a Goodbye Kitty kimono and ran around calling you a tooth fairy. You did? On second thought, I really should have talked to her with no one else in the classroom. I was a kid. But you wore a kimono and called her the tooth fairy. Well, yeah, but... About time you admitted it, Yama! I'm struck speechless as the situation begins to dawn on me. You know who I am? No, how could I not? It's only been 4 years. Then you were... Faking it, of course. Why were you pretending to not to notice me earlier? I knew you recognized me. Well, it's not every day you see an old friend who just decided to disappear one day. She stops at that, a flicker of irritation crossing her eyes at my cutting tone. It's not like I wanted to leave Sato, Yama. So why did you? My mother didn't leave me with much of a choice. You mean Satomi? She nods. You could have at least told us you were moving. I couldn't. I wait for an elaboration, but it never comes. That's it? You just couldn't tell us? Why not? Do you mind if we can talk about it later, Yama? I'm not very comfortable discussing it in class. I open my mouth to object, but something about Misaki's expression prevents me from pursuing the issue further. She genuinely seems distraught. Wait. Yama wore a Goodbye Kitty kimono and called Misaki the Tooth Fairy? Luckily, Yahiko manages to change the subject. I decide to play along for the time being. I was a little kid, dang it! I hear excuses. All excuses. It's not an excuse. There's a legitimate explanation. I somehow fell and got my yukata dirty, and it was at the festival, and we weren't very close to home, and Miki had an extra kimono. A Goodbye Kitty kimono? Yes. Somehow having Yahiko mock me just makes the entire thing 10 times worse. I cast a half-pleading, half-indignant glare at Misaki, who only shrugs in response. It isn't my fault you enjoy cross-dressing. I don't. If only I had patter at the time, I would have taken a photo. Twitter patter? Wait, so what's this patter you keep mentioning? Judging by the reactions I'm getting, I've just committed a huge faux pas. You don't know what patter is? Where have you been living your whole life? Under a rock? Well, technically, that's what my name would imply. Fuck the bino. Started off with us being in a forest after killing someone, and now we're here. It makes absolutely zero fucking sense to me. 0 cents. Like, the main character, Yama, is definitely disturbed to some extent. But I haven't figured out how far yet. And trying to do voices for 2 male characters, one of which is on the screen right now, has not been fun for my throat today. Oh well, I'll live. I will live. What? It's like the Secret Service database or something? Far more important, it's the most popular social networking website in today's society. I really question your priorities.
Through Patter, you share posts with 90 characters or less.
Yeah, Twitter.
It allows you to spread important news, demonstrate your support, provide instant feedback to questions, or just blog about your day.
I try.
Takes practice.
Though, to be honest, it's just different versions of my voice. It's all the same. It's just how much bass I put in it in Twitter. Definitely Twitter. Totally blog about your day in 90 characters or less. Gophermaker got big because of Pattern.
As for me, I'd like to give updates on the progress of my day.
Okay, fine, but does anyone actually care? New. I don't have far enough range. I can do 3 voices. Normal, high pitch, or low pitch, man voice. But it's the male voices that totally wreck me. Totally. And the girly voices, but at least I do the kind of close to the girly voice for my day job, so that helps. You just gotta make him sugary sweet. That's true. But all I have is 3, so if they could go with my normal voice, that would be awesome. But I'm also in the middle of nowhere, so yeah. Who knows? Maybe they'll find my Twitter. Twitch. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that'd be my problem. I don't want to move. Not unless it had a major pay raise. Does anyone actually care? Sudden deathly chill pervades the room. My second major faux pas of the day, apparently.
People care?
Are you sure? Because the way I see it, tapping 2 buttons doesn't exactly make you...
They care, damn it! Don't say nothing different till you pat yourself.
Don't say nothing intense, Misaki? Wait, what? But the conversation grinds to a halt when Misaki's phone trills in her hand. She immediately regains her composure.
Kazuhaya speaking. Yes, understood. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
She cuts the call and shoves her phone into her pocket, looking me square in the eye.
I must go. Duty calls.
Duty? What kind of duty?
My employer has a job for me.
Job? Now? What about school?
Oh, I'm sure they'll excuse this one. Let's talk again later, Yama. Oh, and make sure to bring Ri, okay? Goodbye!
And like a tornado stalking its next target, she blazes out of the room. I'm left completely dumbfounded with the Yahiko who's dancing around the room like he's just won his mansion on the moon. I have a fan! I have an actual fan! A real fan! Wonder how long it'll be before I can pledge her to my service as my first true minion. Yahiko. I wordlessly leave him in his fantasy of world domination and head to the cafeteria. It's more out of routine than actually feeling hungry. The shock of running into an old friend after 4 years might have something to do with that. Maybe I should be angrier at Misaki, but at the same time, who knows what had happened to her with her and her mother? She seemed pretty uncomfortable talking about it. At least she's here now. I guess that's all that matters. If Misaki wants to tell me, she will on her own time. The cafeteria is broad and beautiful, boasting polished surfaces and tidy, well-lit spaces. Modern furniture settles well on the brushed mahogany floor. Brushed mahogany? Must be nice to have that kind of money. Students in pristine uniforms travel to and fro, scooping food from the extensive buffet counters around the perimeter of the cafeteria and returning to their friends. I spot Ree in the back corner of the cafeteria, staring up at the skylights with a thoughtful tilt to her head. Actually, this would be a perfect time to tell her about Misaki. Ree would be thrilled to see her again. Hey, Ree! She jumps slightly at the sudden sound, and only then do I remember that I'm supposed to be apologizing for being dramatic yesterday. Except I've never been great at apologizing, or even good, or actually even mildly passable. Say, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How's class?
I don't know the voice. It was okay, I guess. All of my anime girls all have the same voice. Though I suppose in anime they kind of all have the same voice.
Oh, okay.
I shuffle for a moment and I finally clear my throat. About yesterday.
It's okay, Yama. I know that seeing the bus must have brought up some memories. You were just lashing out.
But I shouldn't have.
No, I guess not. So next time something like that happens, I reserve the right to slap you silly.
And just like that, everything is right between us. Okay. What have I done to deserve a friend like this?
Thanks. But buy me lunch.
What?
Come on, it's only fair.
If I go into debt, I blame you for constantly mooching off me. Are you ever going to pay for your own food?
Probably not. But you can't count those grocery trips because I ended up cooking everything for you.
And yourself.
Labor taxes. Let's go already, I'm hungry.
But just as she reaches forward and pulls my arm to her side, we hear a very familiar voice from behind us. Well, 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 what have we here? We jerk around in synchronization and promptly come face to face with Mr. Ryuta. Rei quickly squeaks and jumps away, suddenly bashful.
Oh, hi, Mr. Ryuta.
Look at you two, the adorable childhood friends, finally getting together after years of unneeded drama. Bah, I feel sick. What is this, some crappy anime?
What? We're not together? Wouldn't go out with Yama in a million years.
It's actually really adorable. I struggle to maintain a straight face. I know, I'm just too good for you. She snaps back into the Ree that the rest of the academy knows her as, witty, confident, and a touch malicious. She opens her mouth, no doubt to smite me with some comeback or another, but Mr. Ryota breaks us up. Well, if I don't end up barfing my guts out, you guys will have the most adorable wedding in all of history. And there goes Ree.
How can you say something like that, Mr. Ryota?
No, he's awesome. He's an awesome teacher. He's a gamer. He's the dorm manager. He plays video games all day.
You're a teacher. You should know better.
And he's like the Deadpool. He's the Deadpool of this whole thing so far, because, yeah. Anime tropes and stuff. Oh, come on. You two will look back on this day, mark my words. With a cheerful wave, he splits to the faculty express line. His words sound fairly ominous. I can already imagine all the embarrassing stories he'd liberally share with the other wedding guests. He'd probably have so many people rolling in the aisles from laughter that Ree wouldn't even be able to walk properly. What the heck am I even thinking about? Wedding? Ree?
Mr. Ryota is being his usual self, I see.
Yep. Now he's got me thinking about, nope, not going there. Maybe now would be a good time to switch topic. Alright, I even have the perfect material. Hey, Ree, you're not going to believe this, but I saw Miki today. Ree's face cuts to complete blankness in the space of a millisecond. It is really shocking news. Maybe I should have eased it a bit. She ended up transferring to this school, and we coincidentally wound up in the same class. Dead silence. Finally start to feel a prickle of apprehension. We can hang out together again. We can...
Did you talk to her?
What? Of course, it's Mickey. Ree, what's wrong? Aren't you happy?
Well, no, I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, she has nothing to do with either of us anymore. Don't you remember?
We were kids who held a stupid grudge for something beyond her control. Come on, we're older than that now.
Oh, are we? She didn't really apologize, did she?
Well, I pause for a moment. Ree's expression immediately darkens.
I see that she didn't, and I know why. Because she wasn't there to see you fall apart. I don't think you remember, Yama, but you were in a really bad place after she left. Even to the point where, you know.
But that wasn't because of Misaki.
Yeah, but she triggered the whole thing.
Finally, we're getting into the dark stuff!
It's just, when I think about it, I get mad at her. Really mad. So it's probably best for both her and me if she stays away.
So you're not gonna be friends again? The thought is so baffling that I can't help but start. In my mind, we'd always be in a package deal. Me, Ree, and Misaki. It was either all or nothing.
You're your own person, so you should hang out with whoever you want. But I can't be buddy-buddy with Misaki until she realizes what she's done.
I never thought of Ree, of all people, would be irrational. How bad had I been exactly? I'd never seen Ree so upset, at least not in a really long time.
Sorry to be a downer. Why don't we just grab some lunch?
How about you go on ahead? I need to talk to Mr. Ryuta.
Okay.
Surprisingly, she doesn't ask me any more questions. She heads to the lunch line without a word. Maybe she also feels rotten inside, like something has been lost forever. I shake these thoughts and immediately locate Mr. Ryuta, who has just popped out of the faculty line and, conveniently enough, is heading in my direction. He watches our separation with an eyebrow raised to his hairline. How high is his hairline? Unless it's its bang line. I don't think eyebrows can go that high.
See, they can't.
Oh, are the newlyweds already running into trouble? I ignore this. Good timing, Mr. Ryuta. I wanted to ask you something. If the question is whether to officially ask Ree out, the answer is yes. What? No, that's not the question. Aw, really? That's a bit boring. Ree and I aren't... You know what? Never mind. I was wondering what it means when you see someone you haven't seen in forever who you thought disappeared off the planet. It means exactly what you just said. Your life actually is a crappy anime. I never said that. Oh, you didn't? Mr. Ryuta? Sorry, I can't help it. Now, who's this person you haven't seen in forever? She just transferred into my class this morning. Ree, her, me. We were really close when we were little, back in our hometown, Sato. Transfer student, childhood friend. Don't even think about it. Too late. My life is not a crappy anime. It's not. You're right. It's a really crappy anime. Yes. So, what's the problem? Well, I talked with her, and I think we'll be friends again, but Ree is jealous. What? No, what is this, junior high? Sort of. Sorry, I'll shut up. See, when Misaki, or that's the transfer student, left, she accidentally triggered a giant depressive state that basically left me in the dumps for a year. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. Ree claims it was bad. Yama, when can you come to my office today? I want to listen properly to you, and the cafeteria is not exactly an ideal environment. Well, I guess that Mr. Ryuta got hired into his job for an actual reason. Okay, guess I'll drop by after school. Or during, really, either way works. Now, off to lunch, you. Gotta eat before the bell rings. Young growing boys need all the nutrition they can get. He can't sound like the wise, all-knowing teacher when he just implied it was fine for me to ditch school. See, he's cool. See you later, Mr. Ryota. He only responds with a casual wave before he saunters over to the nearest table, chatting easily with a group of students. Yeah, he's that cool teacher that everyone likes. I snag a plate of food. Okay. I snag a plate of food and search for Ree, but she's nowhere in sight. I guess that conversation took a little longer than I originally intended. I quickly scarf my food down and return to the classroom. Alright, class, let's take secondary roll before we head into the courtyard. I can't word anymore. What? We have more PE? Teacher's halfway through rolling her eyes before she catches herself. I guess it's not a good example to roll your eyes in front of your students. No, Yahiko, today's career day, as has been announced over the PA for the past 3 days. Afternoon classes are cancelled so that third years may explore possible future occupations with specialists. Oh, right. Questions of the future. Writing prompt about our dream job. Now, career day. Think I'm sensing a pattern here. We're already running a little late, so let's make this quick. Anyone missing? Nope. That prompts us to glance around.
I think he's right, ma'am. Everyone's here.
Everyone is except Misaki, who apparently is at her job. Time to do not so subtle recon. Teacher, where's that girl? The one sitting by the window? Teacher waves her hand dismissively. Special circumstances. Anyone else? Despite myself, I feel a prick of curiosity. Special circumstances. What kind of circumstances could warrant such an offhand dismissal from the teacher? I thought most teachers loathe making exceptions for mandatory events. So what could Misaki's job be? As the teacher continues to survey the classroom, I feel a nudge against my arm.
I'm surprised you brought it up.
What?
Usually you wouldn't say anything even if you noticed. You would have thought it too much trouble.
Her words are remarkably neutral. It's awkward. Feels like a trap. I think you should stop pretending like you actually know me, or that you have a brain.
You're insufferable.
She storms back to the back of the room in a huff. I'm insufferable? She's done far, far worse, and she's still judging me? What a hypocrite. Alright, looks like everyone else is here. To the courtyard! Destiny awaits! There are more than a few rolled eyes, but everyone obediently files out of the classroom. Courtyard. Our class pours into the courtyard, which currently resembles a crowded street market. Columns of booths are set in orderly lines, each attempting to outshine the others, with progressively more outrageous signage and progressively louder music. I wonder if they've got a booth for my future job. Come to think of it, in all the 203 times he's talked about his dream, he's never once mentioned his future job. Just all the things he'll own. Oh, and what might that be? Isn't it obvious, with my stunning looks and all? So, a trash can? Is that even a job? Of course it's a job. Oh, well, no. I want to be a model. That's wait, that's not as silly as it seems. I mean, seeing how he just believed that being a trash can was a profession, he can't have a job that requires him to think. He also can't have a job that requires social interaction. He'd just repel people instead of attracting them. Those are his two biggest flaws. Modeling doesn't need either. As for his looks, I hate to admit it, but he's not so bad looking. He'd probably be able to land himself a girlfriend if he could just keep quiet. Almost sounds like a serious plan. Yahiko, my friend, I'm glad you finally realized the cruel truth. Eh? What are you talking about? I'm just saying it's a good idea, especially coming from you. Isn't it? Once I become famous, the entire world will be able to witness my magnificence. I'll be on TV, the internet, advertising blimps, basically everywhere. On second thought, maybe it's a terrible idea. Well, if you don't mind me, I'm off to meet my destiny! And with that, he skips off into the crowd, leaving me awkwardly leaning against the wall like some kind of delinquent. I'm not really sure what to do. I'll be wasting my time if I look around, but I'll be wasting my time if I stay here. What a conundrum. You there! I turned to the source of the voice, a man in a medical coat standing in front of a booth boasting the holographic sign, Way Forward Pharmaceuticals Hospital Division. Hunch, I'm guessing he's a doctor. Are you interested in becoming a doctor? Bodies, open wounds? Yeah, no. Sorry, don't think I could deal with the pressure of being a doctor. If that's what you're worried about, then don't worry. I'm a heart surgeon, and I get an entire team of people helping me during the operations. Well, if I have people helping me... Scalpel, please. Nah. What do you mean, nah? I thought I was supposed to do all the cutting this time. That doesn't matter. Sure it does. I see what's going on here, man. You want to take all the credit. Well, guess what? That ain't happening. What are you talking about? I'm the doctor here.
Doctor, the patient is in critical condition. If you don't act fast, he's going to die.
The patient is dying, dang it. Give me the scalpel. Whoa there, don't be getting your scrubs in a bunch.
Doctor, the patient is dead.
See, look what you did. Look at what I... Yeah, I don't think being a doctor's right for me. Are you sure? We got a great internship program. I'm good, things go. Another nearby booth catches my eye. Multicolored sign claims that it's from the National Education Institute. Behind the booth table, a tall woman in glasses is speaking animatedly to a small group of students.
Don't you feel that we have a duty to equip the next generation? In this society, knowledge is power, and we need to ensure that our successors have the power to move forward.
My job is the best and the most beneficial, and there are no downsides whatsoever. Yeah, been there, heard that. Don't your students annoy you or tire you out?
Well, I've had some ups and downs in my career, of course. The more difficult students may be perplexing at first, but when you persevere, you always end up getting those students back on the right path.
Is that so? Teach, what's 5 plus 7? This is high school, Mr. Ikari, not primary school. You should have mastered addition by now. But teach! Excuse me, Mr. Kurogane, smoking is not permitted on campus. Hand those over. You ain't the boss of me, kid. Kid, I'm your teacher. You're shorter than me, kid, and that makes you a kid. Alright, that's it, you're staying after class. You've got detention to serve. Says who? Says you? You couldn't even take on a diseased chicken with one claw tied to its tail. That's why you can't... Why can't you be that eloquent on your essays?
Teacher!
What? What's wrong? What? Are you crying again? What for?
Oh, you're angry at me. I'm sorry, I'm so terrible I can't...
Hey, don't cry. Yeah, I don't think I have enough patience to deal with students. I meander down the row of booths, apathetically peering at any that seem mildly entertaining. One man with a remarkably bushy mustache raises his fist in the air, yelling at the top of his lungs, "Do you love Japan? Join the Japanese Self-Defense Force today!" Wow, I thought those kinds of die-hard patriots only existed on TV, or in crappy animes. Any man who's able to follow orders can be seen as a hero of Japan, if you're still alive. Grenade!
Cover it, soldier!
What? But we could just run away.
Jump on that grenade or I'll have you court-martialed for insubordination.
But I'll die!
All the better. Up to it!
This guy's got some weird shit going on in his head. Yeah, not happening. Turn away from the booth. Everything I see is equally unpromising. Do you have a knack for cooking? Why not apply to Lion Culinary School? Gather here, engineers and mathematicians, fellow countrymen. Biggest digital corporation in the world. Lemniscapta's positions open for you. Have you always wanted to help the hurting? Join us at Cumulus Therapy Center and transform the world one life at a time. A quick glance in the other direction reveals that I seem to be the only one having trouble. Find Elizabeth in deep conversation with a police officer just a few feet away. Wouldn't have thought her to be the type. Maybe she's sucking up to them, so they'll let her off for corporate fraud. Can't really judge her. At least she found something that she's interested in. Me, on the other hand, well, I have nothing. What's up? Can't find your life's calling? What? Turn to the source of the voice. A scraggly man slumped against a rickety folding chair, a worn beanie plopped on his head, and a threadbare trench coat thrown over his shoulders. There's no sign on this booth. Is hobo a legitimate career? Yes. Ah, youngsters these days, you hold your future in your own hands and you don't even know what to do with it. You're lucky, you know. There was a time when people didn't even have the luxury of choosing their career. Upon second glance, I noticed that there are several rolling racks of books settled into the back of the booth. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to their genre. Science fiction, mystery, fantasy, young adult. But they're all under the same name, writer. Are you a writer? He smiles when I ask him this. Yeah. What? Surprised? Who'd you think I was? An adventurer? Globetrotter? Homeless guy, actually. He throws back his head and laughs. You've got life. Can't wait to read your stories. Somehow, I don't think that being a writer would fit me.
Oh, somebody help me! Whatever shall I do?
Fear not, generic damsel in distress. I'm the hero. I lost the previous battle, so this is the heroic rematch where I'm guaranteed to win.
How fortunate! After you win this final battle, I shall bestow you with an obligatory smooch of victory.
Hey, you can't just ignore the villain. I got your girl, Yama. Oh, spare us with your evil gloating. It'll only lead to your downfall. Wait, what I gotta... Give a motive rant so that we understand your identity as a tragic villain? Nah, I'll just put that as a footnote. Okay, I tire of this needless banter. I've actually written the princess's backstory so that she's a badass in distress. What? But you didn't even foreshadow that. Too bad, I need to move the plot forward. Hey-ya! No! Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think I can come up with original material. That's why you just rip off real life, you know? Thanks, but no thanks. He shrugs apathetically as I walk away. Oh, hello. Nearby, a small group of students catches my eye. They're gathered in front of a man in a long, sweeping lab coat. Although his voice is placid, there lies an undercurrent of power in every word he says. Life is a fragile thing. There's an unspeakable number of ways for the human body to fail, and even more for it to be broken. Death was accepted as an inevitable part of life, natural stage in the cycle of this world. But it doesn't have to be that way. The man in the lab coat straightens as the students break into hurried whispers. Through research, we can create medicine that fights diseases and treats disorders, extending our lives exponentially and maybe indefinitely. Ah, so he's a medical researcher. He fixes his gaze on each individual in the crowd, not in a hostile manner, but certainly in an unnerving one. The day may come when we can defy death. His eyes land on me. The intelligent arc of his brow and the commanding line of his jaw shifts slightly as he examines me. I feel frozen beneath his piercing gaze. It isn't exactly uncomfortable, just strange. Eventually, he turns away, adjusting the golden glasses that are settled on the bridge of his nose. They're black here, not gold. If you seek to make a lasting influence on the world, join us at Way Forward's Pharmaceuticals in the Research Division. Together, we can accomplish the impossible and prevent the inevitable. Crowd of students breaks into applause, their faces agape in wonder. I can only scoff. No one can defy death. Anyone who thinks otherwise is just delusional. As I turn away from the Way Forward booth, the PA hums to life. Attention students, Mayor Inori will be speaking at the center stage in 5 minutes. Students around me gasp audibly, breaking into frantic whispers. Mayor Inori, here in person? Excuse me. Our school's important, you know. Why wouldn't he come? Come on, let's get a good spot. Follow the massive throng of students gathering around the courtyard's center stage. Sure enough, Masaru Inori, the ever-popular mayor of Isamu, I have no idea what that was. I don't know what it was. Something hit my nose. Weird. Very weird. The ever-popular mayor of Isamu is in the flesh. He gives the students a cordial wave from behind an impenetrable line of security guards. You know, back in my day, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, this extracts a laugh from the crowd, we always ditched career day. We'd pop over to GFC, you should have seen it before it was renovated, and stuff ourselves on wings. They were only double S's at the time. Shows you how far we've come as a society, eh? Crowd chuckles again. Amongst them, I catch the distinct tint of Elizabeth's giggle. As usual, she's eagerly jotting notes on her phone, hanging on to the mayor's every word. The brunette girl who's always around Elizabeth is also next to her. Surprisingly, she seems equally engrossed in the speech. And yes, I hated career day. Thought it was a waste of time. Thought that they were restraining me at a time when all I wanted to do was explore myself, who I was, who I wanted to be. But later, I realized that I was thinking about career day in a completely wrong way. It wasn't about deciding my future. It was about exploring possibilities. That's better. He allows a moment of thoughtful silence before he continues. The truth is, you'll probably change careers multiple times in your life. In fact, the average number of job changes is estimated to be 15 times. You could be in med school all your life, but have experience in construction, woodworking, design, architecture, statistics, engineering, maybe even ostrich babysitting or bicycle fishing. Elizabeth smiles into her hand as the students laugh like a perfectly timed track. But as vast as the future is, you know that what you don't want to do. You don't want to be hurt. You don't want to go each day full of insecurities, doubts, fears. You don't want to be lied to or backstabbed or treated like a fake. I won't lie to you, it's a nasty world out there. But I think that we can all agree that regardless of who we are or where we're from, we each have an important part to play in the safety of this country. So go on, explore. You guys are bright. And hey, you guys are in a better spot than I was. Though, I'd like nothing more than become an anthropologist. Not that even I knew what that meant at the time. It just sounded cool. His parting sentence elicits another laugh as he steps off the stage, offering a final wave. The students erupt into cheers in response. I quickly shuffle away from the crowd before the noise overwhelms me. Don't want to like this guy. Heck, I don't want to like any politician, but he seems to be less evil than the others I've seen. Furthermore, he made a good speech. He came across intelligent, but genuine. Two major opposites of politics. Maybe I'll vote in his re-election. Maybe. Hello, stranger. Oh? Hey, Mickey! I abruptly stop in my tracks, finally taking in what she's wearing. Well, you're dressed up. Which is putting it lightly. She's draped in a silken kimono that ripples around her figure like water, hair and set with minimalistic ribbon and a crystal pin. She could own the red carpet, or a throne, even, with that outfit. Pretty, my mind supplies unhelpfully. I quickly grind that part of my mind to dust.
Is that all you have to say?
Well, what were you expecting? Poetry? Oh, dearest, you liken yourself to starlight, with eyes like the moon and a mouth like the purest golden flame the sun e'er did see. She promptly slaps me on the back.
Very funny, Shakespeare II. Although, I am impressed. Your recitation was pretty decent.
I feel like she's insulting me, but she genuinely seems shocked.
So, what brings you here? Do you want to become a model?
Oh, what?
Oh, no need to be embarrassed. Male models are hardly anything new. However, they do tend to be physically fit. Do you happen to have a six-pack?
I'll pretend I heard none of that. Oh, excuse me. What makes you think I would ever want to be a model?
You're standing by my company's booth. We are a modeling company.
Surprised, I cast a quick glance behind her. Sure enough, a large banner reads Lotus Modeling above a tent with striking photo spreads. Hence the kimono, I assume.
You assumed correctly. So, where's Ree? I haven't seen her all day.
That awkward moment when...
Oh no! Cable's out!
Hey, really? That's funny.
She attends this school, right?
What? Of course she does.
So you've seen her today?
Well, yeah.
You didn't tell her about me?
Aw, that sucks.
Kinda makes me happy I don't have cable.
But I have their internet. My internet's working. I don't know. Hello, social drama. I missed you. Not. I hate that. How can I word this delicately? Or better yet, avoid it completely. You should probably be getting back to your job.
I have my eye on you, Yama. Do you really think I can't tell when you're lying?
Good to know. I know it's the same thing here, but like anyone pays attention. I think that's a city bylaw too, actually. So you could totally call on your noisy drunk neighbor. Which is always fun. I believe in my ability to run away. Stupid ass surrounds. Oh my god, really? Wow. Why do people have to be dumb? Like, really?
Always the same, I see. Made a mental note to harass you about it later. Until then, Yama.
She floats back to her booth, greeting any curious glances with an effortless smile. Yeah, it's the nice thing about kids. They can sleep through anything. But yeah, definitely wake the landlord up next time neighbors upstairs are being assholes. And if they don't answer, call the cops, who will then contact the landlord after they come visit and say, you're being noisy. A model. Her job is modeling. Somehow I find that a little underwhelming. I almost expected her to be involved in something drastic, like the Secret Service, or the film industry, or even the Olympics. But modeling, where you pose and change and smile for hours and hours? Adventurous, stubborn Miki? Doesn't seem to fit her. Whatever, I guess it's none of my business anyway. Time to see Mr. Ryuta. Probably when we're done with the visit to Mr. Ryuta, I am going to and like it be done for the night, and we'll go raid somebody. Jojo, I gotta leave that up so I don't forget. Superman scientist, sovereigns, the office can post notices. Yeah, and if they still don't pay attention to the notices, cops will definitely have no problem with coming over for a noise disturbance. This I know for sure. Heck, most landlords actually encourage you to call the cops. I know mine do. They'd rather we call the cops or emergency services instead of calling them first. But that's because my landlords are kind of shady. But meh. Oh yes. Sorry, just braining, not braining at the moment. Doop. Okay. Yeah, there. Sorry. Time to see Mr. Ryota. This time, he opens the door as soon as I knock. Must have caught him at a good time. Welcome, Ishimoto. We've been expecting you. He cackles maniacally and taps his fingertips together. You should have turned in your chair while stroking a cat. Bah, everyone's a critic. Would you have rather been left standing outside in the cold? Outside? I'd be in the hallway. You seem awfully eager to prove your mentor wrong, boy. Well, whether I prove it or not, it's still wrong, right? Ah, yes. But that would never fly in a court of law, you see. I like this, teacher. Imagine it. I declared the defendant guilty because from a metaphysical standpoint it is true, even if we have no epistemological link of knowing so. I just lost you. I get that a lot. Go ahead and take a seat. We've got more important things to discuss. Nope. Hesitantly, I slide into the nearest couch. I've always seen Mr. Ryota as an intelligent man, even if laid back, but I'd never actually, not understood him. Wonder how much brain mass he's hiding behind that cheery facade. So, the new transfer student, Misaki Kazehaya. Kazehaya. My problem with the names is because my mouth isn't made to say these names. I'm a Kanakian. I hope you don't mind. I did a little lookup on her. You can do that? Well, there's no explicit rule saying I can't use the confidential databases. I'm pretty sure that there is. No, I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. Again, I like this teacher. I checked the loopholes. Something feels wrong about this. What did you find out? Well, if I tell you, then that's a solid breach of confidentiality. Don't want you to go to jail yet. The food's too good here. Mr. Ryota, I really worry about you sometimes. And this is me talking. So, instead, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter, Yama. How did you two meet? And you mentioned that she left? Yeah. This is a different screen, which is why I'm doing this. Okay, maybe we'll finish. Interesting stuff's happening, finally. I close my eyes, letting the ever-constant hum of the air conditioner calm my nerves. Then I start talking. It's practically subconscious. My mouth dutifully repeats the train of thought running through my mind. Everything is calm, clear, slow. Therapy. Something that I've gotten used to over the years. So easily I turn my brain to the topic of interest. Misaki Kazehaya. I'd met her when I was young. Not too young, a baby still forming thought patterns and ideas about the world, but young enough to be highly impressionable. Ooh, pretty. It had been on a day when I thought nothing could make me smile. Not the vibrant lanterns strewn between the roofs of multicolored booths, not the festive rhythm of the taiko drummers urging on the parade of light-bearing dancers, not the stands on which a variety of nutritionally questionable foods were being served. Not even Ree who dragged me out of the house despite my best efforts to stay miserable. It was only around an hour into the festival, but I was ready to go. When Ree went to the bathroom, I seriously considered ditching her and going back to my room. Apparently, I was scowling, deeply at that. I didn't know it until a passing girl suddenly stopped in front of me. Annoying girl.
Does your face always look like that?
To say the least, that didn't help my foul mood. I glared up at her. She was pretty. Well, that was the first thought in my head, that instinctive spark of appreciation whenever a guy sees a pretty girl, no matter how much he wants to feel otherwise. Her hair was braided back into an elegant half-updo, light ebony curls framing her porcelain face, big eyes, long lashes, pointed chin. Kind of traditional beauty you might see in a kimono commercial. Of course, the first spark of interest was immediately overridden by indignance that only an 8-year-old boy could feel. What are you looking at?
Don't look so grumpy. You should be celebrating.
She didn't know anything, of course, not until a few months later. Festivals are stupid.
They are not.
Why? There isn't even any reason to celebrate. The girl's face twisted into something resembling anger. It looked strange on her face, like a guinea pig attempting to seem menacing.
You don't even know what the festival was about, do you?
Well, of course I didn't, but I wasn't about to admit it. Of course I do.
Oh yeah? What's it about?
Well, you make lanterns.
Uh-huh, and?
Fisted my hands at her condescending tone. You write wishes on them and stuff.
Wrong.
Am not.
Yeah, you are. You don't write wishes. You write what you want to tell dead people.
Ridiculous, I should have said. Why would I even want to talk to dead people? But I didn't mock it. I couldn't mock it. Dead people?
Yep, I can write a message to Auntie on this lantern and she'd see it.
How do you know that?
Haven't you heard the story?
No, I hadn't. But my 8-year-old pride prevented me from saying that, of course. Thankfully, the girl took my silence as confusion.
Well, once upon a time, there was a princess.
Was she pretty?
Yeah.
Good at singing?
Yeah.
Boring.
It's not boring.
The indignant anger on her face made me snicker, the first time I'd smiled, all day. Yeah, well, what happens? Does she get in trouble and a charming prince has to save her?
Just listen. Look, she's actually a big meanie.
A meat princess? That wasn't a fairy tale staple. Oh?
Yep, but her bodyguard was in love with her and turned her good again.
I felt disappointed. The story had a promising start. Blech. What did he do? Cast a spell? Give a true love's kiss?
He died.
Oh.
Don't look so happy.
That time, I broke into a tiny laugh. But I made her good again, right?
Well, yeah, she didn't trust anyone before. Thought they were all fake and stuff.
Seemed that she was glaring at me at the point of the story. But before I could open my mouth, she was already continuing.
Anyway, the bodyguard sacrificed himself to save her life, so the heavens were super duper impressed and put him in the stars.
Aren't stars really, really hot? That sounds like a bad thing. Childish indignation flickered across her face.
They made him into a constellation, you poop.
Bleh.
Bleh, times infinity. Anyway, Princess realized how beautiful love really is.
Because he died.
She saw how much he loved her, so she decided to be a better person and trust people again.
This had nothing to do with writing messages to the dead on lanterns. I was rapidly losing interest. Let me guess, she lived happily ever after.
Well, no, the bodyguard died, remember?
I like this bodyguard. She glared at me, but somehow it felt less severe than before.
She wrote her promise on a lantern and sent it up to the sky so he could see, because he was a constellation, remember?
Now I realize I could have said a lot of things. That's stupid, he's dead, what could he do about it? But that wasn't on my mind at the time. Everyone turns into a bunch of stars when they die?
I think.
You think or you know?
They did something to super duper impress the heavens, I guess.
I smiled at that. My eyes scoured the street and landed on a simple booth. A handful of other kids were gathered around a short portable table, scrawling on lanterns with calligraphy pens clamped in fisted hands. Let's go!
But I already made a lantern.
Right to another dead person, then. With this overwhelming display of tact and political correctness, I raced towards the table, snatched a lantern from a smiling adult, and plopped down with my pen at the ready.
Who are you writing to?
None of your beeswax. I began to scrawl characters on my lantern. The girl hovered over my shoulder, squinting judiciously at my jagged brushstrokes.
Why is your handwriting so messy?
It's not messy.
I can't even read it.
I whipped around, narrowing my eyes accusingly at her own lantern. Well, yours... I searched for a fault, but not only was her lantern graced with perfect calligraphy, it also proudly bore a few elegant cherry blossoms. Well, yours looks girly. She raised a single eyebrow. It was a remarkably sophisticated expression for a 9-year-old girl to make. I've been making that look since I was 2. Since I had hair on my brows, I've been doing that. I can do one eye really good. The other one's a little bit harder.
I am a girl.
And there was nothing much to say to that.
Yaba, where have you been?
It was as if Ree had materialized out of thin air. I hadn't even noticed the rapid pitter-patter of her footsteps. Sorry, Ree.
Jeez, could have told me.
You were in the bathroom. Clearly displeased, Ree turned her back on me, but smiled at the other girl.
Ooh, bits! More bits! Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits, Rose. What was for supper?
What is for supper? Because you were saying you were cooking. My water really isn't tasty, but it's wet. Salada. I can't. I'm assuming typo in that it was salad. But if it was salada, I would like an explanation of what it is. Because I like food. See, now I have 2 girls, and all of my anime girls have the same voice.
Thanks for taking care of him.
I'm gonna make him... Okay. Salad's still good. Surprisingly, the girl smiled back. Easy as you please. Well, weren't they getting along just fine? Why did they have to give me such a hard time? Maybe it was a girl thing. Totally a girl thing.
I'm Ree. I'm Misaki. Gonna make a lantern?
That's okay. Mush brain is mush brain. Mine's becoming mush. That's why when this scene's all done, I'll be done for the night. Yep.
Yep. How'd you make those flowers? They're really pretty. I can show you.
And just like that, the 2 of them were friends. Took a little longer to warm me up, but whatever the 2 of them set their minds to, they accomplished. They had always been that way, so fiery, so capable, so lovely, Two playful angels who, for some reason unfathomable to mankind, saw it fit to hang around a bucket of depressing sludge like me. Why do you think that about yourself? Mr. Ryota's voice seems to come from far in the distance, faint but recognizable. I respond distractedly. You know me, I'm not useful or popular or really intelligent. Silence follows the statement, so I only continue. Our families were close. Masaki's father would always throw these get-togethers at their house over the weekends or during special occasions. I remember him being really overwhelming at first. He was a lot like Misaki, only bigger and louder. I rarely saw Misaki's mother. The times I did see her, she was pretty distant. Besides that, I really don't remember much about her. At first, we were inseparable, Misaki and us, but then her father had lost his job and we started seeing less of her. And eventually, they just left. No warning whatsoever. Even our parents tried to get in contact. No luck. It had been as if the Kazihayas had disappeared off the face of the planet. That must have been a really hard blow. Ree says that it had been. Honestly, I don't remember much of what followed. It all passed in a haze. Essentially, I felt abandoned. I had this idea that everyone close to me would leave me. I don't think I could even cry. I only felt empty inside. But Ree says that it really was a terrible time. She says that I didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't even play any games with her. She says that I looked like a ghost, heck, practically became one. And I don't remember it. She says that one day... Yama, what's wrong? Nope, sorry, that's it. Sub-story over. Are you sure? You do realize that the entire point of therapy is to share your sob stories. It's not a burden, Yama. I'm glad to hear you out. I feel tired. I think I'll have to stop there. It's mainly an excuse, and a very effective one for therapists. Mr. Ryota immediately nods in understanding. Thanks for confiding in me. Just know that what you felt was completely valid. I'm sorry you had that trauma. It's fine, I got over it. I'd like to go now, if that's okay. If you're sure. Is there anything I can do for you? I'm okay. Sure you don't want a lollipop? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but thanks. Have a good day, Yama. But at least take this prescription. Prescription? Seriously? Then I actually look at it. 1 bucket of ice cream to be eaten guilt-free. I like this teacher. Oh. As far as the administration knows, this is a totally legitimate treatment. Ice cream is one of the core groups in the food pyramid, you know? He actually pulls a genuine laugh out of me. Thanks, Mr. Ryota, and thanks for listening. This guy's awesome! I want him as my teacher. Him as my therapist. Yeah, we won't give you antidepressants or anti-anxiety meds. We'll give you a prescription for chocolate ice cream. 1 pint, big spoon. And a tearjerker movie. Anytime. So that's it. I exit Mr. Ryota's office in a considerably better mood than when I had entered it. Actually, I don't feel tired. I feel rejuvenated. You know what you can do, Stacy? Put them in the car. Lollipops in the car, so you have lollipop after therapy. I'm a smart silver. It would work. And then you would have them for kid. I'm thinking ahead. It seems like those memories have been weighing on me for a long time. Maybe therapy really will be beneficial. Deciding to take his prescription to heart, I head straight down to the downtown shopping area. With my mind cleared, I get to pay a little more attention to the weather. Beautiful, cloudless skies. There's clouds in the sky. The slightest hint of a cool breeze. You! A girl careens from around the corner and nearly crashes right into me. Her glasses flash dangerously as she tips her newsboy cap over her forehead, studying me with an intensity that could rival an electronic microscope. That is what's-her-face's friend. Me? It's all I can manage to say at the eccentric sight. Weird girl. Yes, you! An idyllic, unlettered civilian. Perfect. A hint of satisfied smile tugs at her lips. For what must be the 100th time today, I feel a keen sense of impending doom. Respond to my questions with either yes or no. Do not deviate, do not invent, and for the sake of both our sanities, do not dawdle. First, am I correct in assuming you are an academy student? You must have the wrong person. I've never seen you before. How can you judge the purpose behind this encounter without knowing the criteria I have set in my approach? I am not mistaken. You are my target. Doesn't take a genius to sense that this girl means trouble. I decide to conveniently ignore her and step around her. She only steps with me, blocking my path again. Oh, great. I can sense where this is going. As I envisaged, subject demonstrates a remarkable inability to utilize basic cognitive functions. Talk about uncalled for, abusive words, overly complicated language. She clearly has a few screws loose. Maybe I should call the hospital, see if they have a runaway mental patient. But she's not wearing hospital clothes. Look, kid, I don't know what your problem is, but kid? Pleasantly cool air suddenly develops a rather harsh chill. She must be in one of those phases, just another 14-year-old expecting to be treated with the dignity of her grandmother. Albeit a 14-year-old who apparently memorized the dictionary. I used to read the dictionary for fun. I don't have that dictionary anymore, or I would read it. I was a weird kid, so screw me. Sue me? Okay. Well, whatever you are, generally speaking, it's pretty rude to just run up to some random stranger and insult them. Truly, your idiocy has risen to a level beyond which I had previously surmised. She immediately digs into her pocket and flashes something in front of my face. Shigure Enomoto, freelance detective. Legally certified to inspect crime scenes, obtain private files, and, if necessary, interrogate unduly inquisitive citizens with the observational finesse of a blind bat. And you shall note that I am 26 years of age. Wait, what? You're 26? Unless you presume to imply that you are deaf as well as dumb, I suggest. But you're so short. I practically feel ice crystals forming in the air. Well, I should strongly prefer to be short of stature than short of cerebral matter, as seems to be your tendency. Ouch, not a bad blow. Wait. If you're a freelance detective, does that mean that this is an interrogation and I'm a suspect? If I have to go to the police station, do I get excused absences from class? I see no need to reverse your expectation that you will be taking me on excused absences as they are. Consider it an inevitability similar to your clinical depression. That stops me. What? How could she possibly... What would even make her think something like that? You might as well carry a sign. From your uniform, you are a student at the academy. From the fact that you are wearing it, you attended school this morning. From your presence in town rather than in class, you are, as I believe they call it, playing hooky. From the prescription slip, you are enrolled in the recently developed therapy method that the academy has been boasting. From your fairly normal physicality and social skills, your problem is most likely clinical depression or something like high-functioning autism. Okay, I get it, you're a detective. And you're impressed, but pretending not to be. It's pretty impressive. The observations themselves might seem like common sense, but a person who can actually synthesize them is a rare find. Holy English, Batman! Which, of course, kind of just makes her even more annoying. I relaxed a little, oddly relieved that she hadn't actually secretly researched me. Now it's your turn. My turn. Of course, what can you see from my physical presentation? I invite you to give your brain some much-needed exercise. That gets close to firing me up. Close. Save? Yes. Overwrite. Return and main menu. Yes. Okay. Finally. If I kept going, I would have just kept going. So, we are going to go raid somebody. If they are still alive. And Stacy, you're going to absolutely love this. We're going to go raid Lesrin. We're going to go raid the real Lesrin. So, I haven't even typed the thing in yet. He is still alive. He's still playing Conan Exiles with the floppy dongs. So, because I think it's just the three of us. I know he's here somewhere, but I think it's just the three of us. Rose, do you have bits? Stacy, do you have bits? We are going to not just raid him with emote spam. We're all going to bit spam him. Bit spam. 10 bits max, let's say. I may throw 25 bits at him because that's what I did the last time. Because he does bits for nips. And he totally said earlier in stream he would take off all his clothes. So if all three of us go, maybe he'll take the shirt off. Just saying. So I'm gonna go hit the button now. And the raid, the real Lesrin. Bloop. We are going. We are going. And if he's still in here, that would be hilarious because he'll go with us to his own stream. He is still here, I think. Get your emotes ready. No. Floppy dong raid!